What is up, guys, and welcome here to Town Hall Heroes, episode number 53. The overlay, there we go, nice and loaded. I'm Solid Jake, and I'm joined by my beautiful co-hosts, but before we get to them, let us start with our wondrous guest, Mr. BobbyHankHill. Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So, for anybody that has no idea who you are, shame on them first, but second, why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, hello, I'm BobbyHankHill. I came from League of Legends. I'm known for trolling in that game, doing some messed up stuff at LAN, like ulting backwards on certain heroes. But recently transitioned into heroes like about 5 months ago.
And now you're doing some cool stuff with Cloud9 Vortex. Awesome, awesome. Going down the line, Jared. How's the Dragon Ball life?
It's good, man. We're playing a lot of the new Dragon Ball Z game. We're playing lots and lots of heroes. My friends I've been friends with since like middle school and even before that. I finally got them all in the heroes, and they are very addicted. We play like 4 to 5 hours every night after Tempo Storm's practice is over, and
That's great.
they're getting into it, man. They like it a lot, and so on top of what I've already been doing for heroes, I'm playing even more now.
Very cool. Cubus Maximus sponsored by Sonya. Huh?
That's
What's
right.
up?
That's right. You guys would be proud of me. I went to the first movie in theaters in over a year.
You didn't even tell me about this.
I know. I saw The Kingsman. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Fun movie. You guys haven't heard of it. Other than that,
Why'd you go to the movies?
I don't know. I just went to the movies.
Was it by yourself?
Let's
by
not,
yourself,
let's
Corey?
not press too many questions here, gentlemen.
Who
All
are
right?
you with?
I'm all right.
Where were you on the 29th?
Sham Bam, what is new with you?
Oh, man. So I just held my first ever tournament this past Saturday.
Train
I
wreck! What?
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that because you guys lost?
Oh,
Is that the
shot-
train wreck?
Ooh.
Lost
Ooh.
too.
Ooh. Where's my popcorn?
Bobby lost too. Okay, poke fun at him.
Yeah, no. But he didn't say anything about my tournament.
True.
And C9 Vortex isn't normally number one. No offense.
Oh.
C9
Oh.
Vortex.
What?
This is so aggro right now.
Have a comment about the tournament. Have a comment about the
Dethroned?
tournament.
Dethroned.
Why are you going ham on Bobby? What did he do?
Go ham on everybody.
I'm gonna go ham on your tournament then.
Oh, go ahead. Bring it up, boy. Let's do it.
What kind of rules? All right, look at second. All right, so if you're like I think the second seed, you get first pick twice,
Yeah.
2 games in a
Yeah.
row. What kind of rules are that?
What's
wrong with those rules?
I yelled him for that.
Just
I yelled
copy
him for
cuts or
that.
something.
Just copy cuts or something. Use your head.
It was pretty good, I thought. Nobody had, like, comebacks except for Tempo in the finals. There was, like, except for one EG, or what was it? I think only one game actually got to 3 games, except for Tempo.
We got the 5 games.
Yeah, so I'm saying. Only one other match got to 3 games, except
Yeah,
for
'cause we're
Tempo.
a shitty format.
No, my format would have made all the losers win.
That's no. What?
I don't know.
Yes. The
Man. Why make a
losers
tournament format like that?
got a massive advantage
That's
every other match.
That depends on their drafting style. Do they want first pick twice? Because some teams don't. Some teams prefer second pick. You might be
Exactly.
screwed over those teams that prefer second pick. So therefore,
But every other tournament gives a certain second pick or first pick. So I looked at ESL. I looked at COTS. I didn't really like their format as much. So I looked at those and I was like, all right, let's try something new. So I went with this one. And the only person who ever had a problem with it apparently was Tempo in the finals when they lost.
no.
Bobby just called it out.
Oh damn!
Bobby just called it out.
I just called it out. Yo, okay.
too.
The reason I call it out because I think it's kind of ridiculous how like one team gets first pick twice. That's like saying in League of Legends one team gets blue side twice in the best of 3. It should be balanced.
No, I think it was second team first higher seed. Oh yeah. No, first pick in heroes, but not in maps.
We have to play second pick
picked
every
map,
single game.
Winners picked map, losers picked first pick, then losers were map and pick.
We had to play second pick every single game until we played Tempo.
That's
Rip.
not how that's supposed to go. So that is, I guess that'll be all my me and my admins. I'll take that, but
Okay. Heather.
What's a
Nice
town
intro.
hall without a little
It's a
controversy?
great intro.
No, this is the best start to a show we've had yet. I'd like to continue this. So, speaking about MLG, we'll just open with it. I mean, we're already here.
It's open. It's open.
It's open. Cans are open.
I was out of town visiting family for my engagement party, so I'm completely. I saw none of it. I know nothing, so I'm relying on you guys to tell me this. Now, Jared, you seem to have issues with the problem. Bobby, you seem
the problem.
you were a player. Yeah, words. Kubis, as a viewer, what were your thoughts?
Ooh, as a viewer, well, to be fair, I only caught the final 8.
Top 8.
I think actually I might have jumped in a little bit late. Did you cast all of the top 8 games, Kev?
We casted 75% of the round of 8. And
Okay, I think I caught 3 games, or maybe I jumped into the first set that you were casting.
yeah.
So I don't know if there were any hiccups earlier in the tournament, but it seemed to run smoothly from there on out. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good event. Yeah. I like it.
But that's from my standpoint. I'm not a player, and
So you're
so I wasn't
quiet.
casting it or anything. For that.
Right, that's spectator viewpoint. Like, how does it seem?
Yeah, that's important, of course. Because
At this point, it was. I mean, I had no issues with the production. The casting was fine.
Well, I mean, there were small hiccups in production here and there, but nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't anything that was like, oh my god, MLG
No,
worst
no.
produced event ever. You know.
A few things. It's just from having been sitting around like doing production for Kings or whatever, helping with Jake and all that stuff. Seeing that, just like little things, but nothing. People were like, "Oh my god, production!" Like I would see it in the chat. I'm like, these people are blowing stuff out of proportion.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was fun to watch. A lot of good
good.
games, a lot of good series,
A lot of good
a lot of good teams there. So
a lot of great teams.
I'm happy with that.
The round of 4 had like some of the craziest matches, I think.
Yeah.
And then round of 8 was okay. A lot of stompings. A lot of stompings until like the bottom half of round of 8. Round of 8 was great, and then round of 4 into finals were all amazing.
So I'm calling you out directly here, Kev. You're an engineer in MLG TV. Why the
What's up?
hell can I not look at the chat on the app? Like, what? What?
Oh, dude,
I tried
don't
to log
even-
into the app. I was just like, I can't see the chat. I turned it off. I was just like, that's half the experience. I was just like, I'm done. I was like, I can't actually do this.
To be fair, I think there's a lot of that issue. I mean, Android or iOS?
Android.
Android? Oh, I don't know. I don't ever use that app. The iOS one is pretty good for me.
The stream was fine. The quality was great. It looked really good.
Yeah, 720. So I did 720/60 instead of 1080/30, just as like a test to see like what I think I like better, and I think I liked 720/60 better. But
yeah, I think I would have to agree.
Frame rate's always really nice.
It's just
Yeah.
a lot more smooth. Okay, so continuing forward, Bobby, other than the way the first pick worked, good event? What'd you think?
Yeah, it was a good tournament. I liked it. It was really good.
Very good.
and I ran those rules past like 4 different pro players, and I was like, do these make sense? And they're like, well, everybody's gonna have different preference, so just go with what you feel like. And I was like,
You asked the wrong people.
Oh, but
It's the
besides
part
that,
where
the
you
tournament
just
was
back it up and just go, yeah, okay, so everyone's got a second pick, fine, whatever, do your thing. I don't care. Ooh.
yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
I was thinking about like mid tournament, because like I kind of planned for the drafting to go that way. I think I might have messed up on the wording, and I think that's why there was like so many issues. But I was thinking about midway through the tournament, just because I was like looking at it, I was like, yeah, maybe there should be like not as much of a static, second time is always like this. Maybe give it like to the loser to decide whether they wanted first pick or second pick.
Options is always better because it's more beneficial to the losing side. You can view it as like the losing side is forced into this. It's in theory
Yeah.
you can save time on the speed of the tournament because the decision is made for them. But quality of life, it could hinder what they want to do. They could have this specific strategy where they go for second pick on X map, and if they're forced first pick, guess what? They can't do that strategy now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, that's why I wanted to play around with it, like while we're still on like the younger side of the tournament scene. I was like, I haven't seen anybody go for something like this before, so I went with something a little bit more interesting. And the rest of the rules, I pretty much, except for some rules had some issues with them. But other than that, I think we did pretty. For my first ever tournament, I think I did pretty well. In fact, all right, not to
Toot my own horn here.
Horn here. But I had to slow everything down because I allowed teams to play quicker. So round of 32 and round of 16 ended in like an hour and a half or 2 hours. So I was like, all right, well, I want to do more than just cast for 4 hours and then be done. So we're going to do every round of 8 match.
And then turn it into a 13-hour event.
That was great.
That's impressive. So you went from finishing, you were eliminated. What is that? 3/4 of the teams? 3/4 of the teams within an hour and a half.
It was like 2 hours. I tuned in. And I was like, wow, they're going well.
You went through that other 25% in 10+ hours.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That is impressive. Well, kudos.
I learned a lot about
I learned a lot.
how long best of 3 series can last.
What was that series we cast, Corey, that was like, I think we had 2 matches, but it was like something like 5 or 6 hours?
No, that was just grand finals.
Grand finals alone was
that was when
that was like 4+ hours.
That was like when Tempo Storm came back through the losers bracket, and we did the double series and ended up going to the final game.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That can take some time. That's the nature of the game.
Yep.
Those were my only complaints to Kev, was the drafting thing, the first pick thing, and then the duration was pretty intense. But it didn't
didn't seem to have a problem with it.
Go back and watch those games. Both teams played.
Oh yeah, both teams were playing. Yeah, a bit odd.
They adapted better though. Like I want to talk about the finals real quick. Game number 4, people were like kind of confused about what. I haven't talked to Maelstrom because we're competing teams, but I'm pretty sure this is what they did. Game 4, they had a really slow stall comp. They were going like Tastar Force Wall and stuff. So they knew Game 5 they would have the better rotation because of the pick ban system. I think they played well, and they delayed that Game 4 match and exhausted us as much as they could. And it was smart. I like the way the way Maelstrom played, because Tastar Force Wall. Are you kidding me? We scrim them all the time. Never seen that. They were trying to.
You got to hide your strats.
Well, true, but they were trying to sleep us out, man, and it worked. But they played better than us that day, and they of course deserved to win. But they were smart. Oh no, Key Caffeine saying no. Okay. Apparently they have a secret Force Wall strat. I don't believe them though.
That's cool.
Are you talking about the day when they threw Game 1 and they should have won? Oh man,
I don't remember that Game 1. What happened?
That was the best of 5 that Tempo came from the losers bracket and they won, right? That was COTS.
Oh yeah, that was COTS. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember the game.
Oh yes, I do remember.
Yeah, they had like such a huge lead.
Yeah.
That time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember that one.
So, Bobby, as a player, when it comes to these longer days, when you're pushing out like the 8-9 hour, let alone a 13 hour, how hard is it as a player? Like, just to not only mechanically play it right, but mentally be in the game?
Well, I got used to it because I used to play competitive in League. But honestly, it wasn't that bad. I think it's worse for the casters because there's like a lot of downtime for the players. Like, we're not really sitting there playing 24/7. We're just chilling, waiting. And like, yeah, we might talk about strategy, what to do the next game, but the casters have to cast like all the games.
Yeah, that was brutal.
It was like what, 13 and a half hours total? Like
13 and a half hours. And Chef, like he'd subtly be like, this is weird, casting for a long time, but he was never like, dude, I can't believe you made me do that or anything like that. He didn't really complain or anything, which was great, because I know he's not really, he hasn't cast a ton. I know he's casted before, and he's like done a couple of matches in StarCraft 2 at least, but for him to not really cast that often and then have to cast a 13-hour day, I kind of felt really bad for doing it to him, but
he's got the chops now.
Good. Yeah, he's gone through the gauntlet.
That's the ringer right there.
Especially dealing with me for 13 hours. It's like, it's one thing to cast for 13 hours.
But 13 hours of puns, no one should have to deal with that.
Yeah, it was 13 hours of puns.
Dude, he made, like in the finals, the worst chest pun I have ever heard in the history of Kev puns. Like, I was like, go to bed. Just end the series now. That was so bad. And Chef did that all day, man. He's a beast. He could handle that.
Kev was about to subscribe to his MLG channel, but then Jared took his wallet out, he buttoned his little Spider-Man buttons, and said, no, I'm
not
done.
Today, Kevin. Not today.
So yeah, it was fun. I got a lot of great feedback, and then the replay pack. Somebody's gonna apparently like recast a lot of them in French and then hand them out to the EU
That's
scene
cool.
to show like NA meta, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I just
Replay packs, man. We need more of them.
Yeah, I've been sending
Yeah.
them to Korea for COTS for quite a while now. It's just cool to they want to examine our meta and explore that kind of stuff, and it's cool.
are we getting Korean meta like replay packs back? Because if we're sending them to Korea,
They've offered
they're
them.
getting, like,
They've
they're getting
offered
the
them. But
lowdown.
I'll be honest.
Jake,
You
give
turned
them
them.
to me.
Jake, give them to us.
Hey,
I've
hey,
watched some of it,
that's-
but
What?
What's with the hoarding over
Wait a
there?
minute. Wait a minute.
You hoarding
You-
replays.
no, hold on. You're taking our replays and Bobby's replays. Shit you didn't do to work for, and you're giving them to Korea, and you're not giving us anything. Oh, Jake,
hey,
share the wealth, baby. Share the wealth.
all right, I'll forward them
I
over.
want some Korean
Vision
replays,
betrayer.
All right.
What are you, Illidan?
What are you?
Nah, I
Love the
just
replays.
We want the replays.
okay. We'll get them.
Koreas,
We'll get them.
all of them.
All of
I want
them.
to see how often they run Murky still.
None.
No,
The way I was China that ran.
They run Gazlo, but not Murky.
Look at this.
Wombo.
He's actually been watching these replays.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
And if
Oh. Occasionally.
Jake, hoarding the replays.
exposed.
Exposed. Outed.
Good.
On Town Hall Heroes, episode 53.
I'll be honest with you. I think a big part of the reason why I haven't shared them is I'm not impressed. It's
Well, why
still
don't you let us decide that, okay?
it's still very wombo over in Korea. It's very wombo.
Wombo has a certain merit to it.
The top teams in NA,
We're seeing blow up comps in top teams from
we see blow up comps, but we don't see like gravel bomb wombo combos. Like it's not
Oh, you
very
like
common
with a-
right now.
Like Apocalypse and stuff?
Yeah.
Twilight Dream?
Yes, sometimes.
Listen, you practice. You know, if you're practicing anything like Korea region normally practices, like 13 hours a day, it's possible that you could get like perfect timings on wombo combos every time.
True.
Like you kind of threw it out because it was rough to execute and luring people into them was kind of difficult, but
I think
Okay,
it has a lot more to do with the fact that it's easy to outdraft that.
that's true.
How do we
But
start?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, oh,
Oh.
oh, oh.
I mean, we're going ham on everyone. What's Kubi? Kubi, what have you done lately?
yeah, maybe.
Kubi.
What have I done
Express
lately?
your worth.
Last night I was casting for ESL NA Major League. That was fun. 2 arc.
We got wrecked.
Yeah. If we want to talk about that, if you want to open that door.
Sure.
Yo, Tempo just getting wrecked left and right. What's going on, buddies?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we had to use. We went to a LAN center with Dread and Mike. Whatever you can say, John's whatever nonsense you want to say. We went to a LAN center because John or Glaurong and
Who's
Dreadnought.
John?
Glaurong and Dreadnought did not have internet in the house yet. The
What
PCs
house?
there. We'll go. We have the team house later in the discussion. Okay.
Okay.
Team
That's
house.
on the
Whoa,
show
what?
notes.
Spoiled.
That's on the show notes.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. The computers had they were really bad, and Heroes is not optimized in the slightest, so it did not handle them well. One of the computers could run at like 10 FPS, and the other ran at like 2 FPS. So Glau was playing on the 10 FPS PC. We had Nick subbing. We hadn't practiced with Nick very much, and Tuark played well. Tuark played very well, and we did not.
Wow.
Whatever Johns you want to call.
So here's the other half of that story that's very interesting. In the ESL Major League, you are allowed 5 players and 2 substitutes. Since Glaurong's account got banned out, he was forced to use your account. Now Zoya is listed as an official sub for Tempo Storm, and Nick Hotz filled in for Dread as Dread could not play. So Nick is the other sub. You guys have now locked in your full roster for the season, and that's
I've subbed for us in scrims in the past.
okay.
Man, that's gonna be funny whenever they have to pull out Zoya. That's gonna instant loss.
Once we're all in the house, that won't be an issue. We should maybe be able to make everyone to every event.
We made sure the chat understood that the reason they lost was because you played last
Yeah,
night.
that's understandable.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that be on like just me instead of the team.
Good.
So I'll take that bullet.
Zoya, you are the team. You're the coach. You can't say on the team as it's like a separate entity. You are the team.
True. That is true. I apologize. Please forgive me.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but they were great games. I mean, Tuark played really well. They drafted well.
Yeah.
And the other series we had last night was also quite good. But looking at the ESL rankings now, it's like Tempo Storm has now fallen to second. Barrel Boys have that 5-0 lead. Tempo Storm is now 4-1. But I think Tempo Storm will qualify for playoffs no matter what. So at this point, it's just a matter of seeding, really. That's what the victories account for, as seeding is big.
The worst position they can get is the
I mean,
seed.
no matter what. Oh, go ahead, Corey.
Yeah, if Tempo Storm loses every game from here on out and 2ARC wins every game, I think you guys will swap spots for 2 and 3. But I think other than that, you guys are both guaranteed.
And while we're talking about that, Bobby, how hard of a decision was it to change your roster up so much to actually get taken out of the Major League?
Well, in terms of like player skill, there's nothing wrong with that roster. I would say that we just didn't synergize well. So how I saw it was there's no point to play in a Major League if we aren't going to do well because we have synergy issues inside and outside of the game. So I decided, screw it, I'm just going to swap it up and then play in like the next season.
And, well, we actually saw you guys play some in the Ding It Invitational last week, but that was all fun games. That was very, well, it was a show match, so you guys didn't necessarily show your cards yet. But you got, I mean, we saw a mobility comp where you guys had a global presence. We saw a StarCraft comp where you guys literally ran a full 5 StarCraft team. That was interesting. And needless to say, they got 3-0'd versus Barrel Boys because you guys just did fun stuff. But how is the team doing? How's the new squad working out for you guys?
It was really rough like the first week, but we're getting used to each other and it's getting a lot better. It's going to take time to ramp up, but there's a lot of potential in this roster, and I think we'll be really, really good in the future.
If you can answer it, a little bit of a drama question that's been going around. Was iDream and K1 Pro sniped by Maelstrom, or did you let them go to free up your roster on Vortex to better synergize the team? If you can answer, I understand that can be kind of
that is a tough question.
Well, obviously, like there's like some internal stuff that happened with Maelstrom. We had some internal stuff too, and originally I was actually going to go to Maelstrom, but I decided not to for my own reasons. But I wouldn't say they got sniped. I would say that it was mutual.
Mutual.
Yeah.
It's good. Well, I mean, that's the benefit of having sister teams like that, is you guys can help each other out and scrim, synergize together, practice, and, of course, in this case, end up transferring players. And it's worked out well for Maelstrom. I mean, they just won MLG. They're making waves with that squad.
Titan Arena, sponsored by MLG. It's not MLG. Thank you.
Titan Arena. I'm just
okay.
here's my shot fired. Here's my shot fired.
Please.
Titan Arena is
Nice.
one of the worst tournament names I've ever heard.
What?
Okay.
Bam!
What?
Titan Arena?
Yo,
I'm
Titan
gonna have to
Arena
agree
is
with that.
awesome.
I
Titan
picture. I don't even know. Like your logo should be like 2 sumos fighting or something. I don't
Listen, you
Kev,
have a problem with our
can't-
logos, you
can't
can go
get
talk
it.
to the guy who made the Town Hall Heroes logo, alright?
Rip.
like. Rip. I don't know.
Rip Rab?
Rip Rap.
Rip. Rab.
Riff Raff, the best.
Yo, Titan Arena is awesome. I don't know what you're talking about. It's a sick name. It's better than something something of the Storm.
Let's stop talking about that tournament. Let's talk about something important. Vortex.
Oh, bad memories. Bad memories.
Tempo Storm banned from
The
next
salt
tournament.
is here. The salt is real.
It is here in real.
What is your exact role on Vortex, Bobby? We know you're the captain, and you talked about how you could have gone to Maelstrom to do the roster change. How much influence do you have on the team? How closely do you work with the higher ups? What is the goal of Vortex for you personally?
Let's see. Well, right now, like I'm like the captain shot caller. I play like the flex role now. I used to play tank on the old roster. I get along really, really well with Jack, and I get along with everyone else under C9 as well. So I guess like we have a really good relationship. The goal with this team is to become the best, and I think we can with this roster. We just got to work really hard. But like usually, I'm trying to get the team to be more communicative. Like we have like 2 people that are really communicative, and usually I make calls, and then we rotate around. Sometimes we all make calls together. It just depends on the game and how hype people get. But right now we're still trying to figure that out.
Okay.
So when it comes to shot calling, you're saying that it's mainly just a couple people talking at this point in time, and you want to expand that?
Yeah, for more communicative reason. But yeah, that's pretty much how it is.
Cool. Cool. I mean, of course, the new roster is yourself, and then Syracuse is the only other that's been there for a little while, since at least at the start of ESL. And you guys now have Tazza, Zix, and Fan. So definitely a powerhouse of a squad. A lot of potential. Is all all 5 of you guys have a lot of just talent.
We have had 4 members of Cloud9 Vortex on this show, but only 2 of them are still on it. Rajar and Chef are no longer with Vortex, right?
Yep.
That's true. Rajar was on. Chef was on. Syracuse was on when he was part of Glorious. And now Bobby. Yeah, so that's actually a fun fact. Also, I just need to tell that the rest of your team needs to step their game up when it comes to profile shots. I'm looking at your website, and Fan just ruins everyone.
What? Fan is the legend.
Gosh.
With glasses.
He's so beautiful. Look at that. I'm going to put that in the link. It's cloud9.gg/Heroes of the Storm.
Oh my god, that is the best picture.
Gosh, he's beautiful. Almost as good as Arthlon. Arthlon's up there too. But that's, of course, Tempo Storm.
Wow.
Okay.
He's got a nice beard, though.
CPs? Oh, Syracuse. I was like, what?
How would I say CPs?
I don't know. That's what I heard.
Glorious mistake right there.
Jeez.
Okay.
Next section of the discussion. The first ever team house, other than Kubi's Castle, which isn't a team house, it's a production house, is being formed. Mr. Zoloff has the scoop.
Yeah, we officially moved in 2 of our players. They moved in Sunday night to our team house. We will have all the players in within a month, and then I will be moving out a few months later. And it's just a great thing. It shows that the scene is headed in a big direction, and there are already buzzes of other teams on the verge of doing the exact same thing.
That's cool. Bobby's making faces.
Which is really cool. I mean, you have like
What teams? What teams? I'm curious. I know Fnatic is, right?
Yeah, Fnatic.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors of. Others have not been announced, so I can't say anything.
I've heard rumors of other orgs picking up squads too, which is
TSM.
All
right.
Bobby, you come from a League of Legends background where team houses were just the standard. Every team had a team house. Even the Challenger League teams had team houses.
Yep.
How big of a deal is this for Heroes? Because in StarCraft, team houses were we all come from StarCraft, so team houses, they were a good thing, but you could practice on your own in StarCraft and be just top tier.
It's definitely a big deal because it just depends on if you run the team house correctly, but it definitely makes your team much better. You gel much more. You have better synergy, and you're able to go over issues a lot better and communicate it. And also, it's a lot easier to do replays. It's really efficient too, that everyone can just focus on the game and not have to focus on anything else. So you should be able to notice a noticeable increase in terms of the players' playability and also the skill of the team, just by the team house itself. But then again, a lot of teams in League, they didn't run their gaming house correctly per se. They kind of just use it as we're just gonna mess around. And so it just depends if the players have the right mentality and the management's doing their job correctly.
Management doing their job.
I was about to say, we have to rely on Zoya to do the job correctly? Oh, God, Tempo is...
Well, it's not just management. It's also the players.
Yeah.
If people have huge egos and they're hard to work with, some people can be bratty and stuff like that, then it becomes a lot more difficult for people to do their, sit on schedule and get their shit done correctly. Oh, sorry, get their stuff done correctly.
Nope. All right, it's time for the important questions.
Uh-oh.
How many?
Everything we've talked about hasn't been important.
How many bedrooms?
5.
So each player gets their own bedroom?
And Zoya gets the couch.
How many bathrooms?
4.5.
Oh, wow.
Dude.
What?
It's a nice house, man.
4 showers?
Tempo Storm's taking care of us. They're awesome.
Okay, so...
We will be releasing a house tour soon, so you guys can see the house in all its glory. We also have a pool in the backyard because Arizona is ridiculous.
How many pools?
4.
What does the yard look
There's-
like? Do you
there's-
have a yard?
Desert.
There is.
Cactuses?
It's like the way Glau described it was. It's just dead.
It's
like-
How many?
side,
There's just dirt and like dead
just
grass.
pave it over and spray paint it green.
Glaurung and Dreadnought, I have a mission for you. Capture a scorpion.
Ooh.
Go.
Make it the new like.
No, Kev.
Oh. What? I don't know. Make it like the house pet. Put it on
Oh.
stream.
You were in pun mode.
I wasn't in pun.
You were definitely in pun mode.
Court.
How can I make a pun out of
You
scorpion?
make a pun out of whatever you want.
Listen,
Just
buddy.
do it.
If I made a pun out of
comes.
scorpions, it would
Here it
sting.
Yeah, see, there it is. You can tell. You just
Order
know. You know
a
it's
megaphone
happening.
now and just go.
I-
Blowhorn, rev ahead.
Yeah, the house is sick. It's really big. We're gonna be like everyone in the team house will be there at the end of the month. I'll be flying out when the last 2 players get in, and we're going to just get the place perfectly set up for everyone to live in. We'll be doing a house tour then as well, so you guys all get to see it. And I mean, if you guys follow Temple Storm and like Hearthstone and stuff, like they daily have articles being released about the competitive scene, how to get better at the game. You know, there's videos being released all the time and guides to do that. And that's part of the plan for the Temple Storm Heroes team, is to produce content from the house. So it's not just a place to practice, which is our main goal, of course. We want to be the best, and we're going to do everything we can to that. But there will also be lots of content coming from the house, especially once we're all there. So it's going to be really cool.
That is very cool. Hearthstone team will not be involved. This is strictly a Heroes house. Am I correct?
It's just strictly Heroes, yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
They didn't want to build their whole organization on a house of cards.
Done. No, just leave it.
Please.
That was so good. That
Please.
was so good.
That was. Ugh.
Kevin, whatever are we gonna do with you?
Woo! All right. Anyway, Kobe's just gone.
Oh, man. That's the first time Corey has done a Zoya rage quit. That's how bad that one was.
Yeah? Alright, let's talk more about esports events. Last week, I believe this was Monday, in the Ding Invitational, we saw Evil Geniuses play in their qualifier versus Happy Fairy Dragons. Happy Fairy Dragons, a team that recently beat them in Go4 in the grand final. So Happy Fairy Dragons defeated them. They had a sub, and EG played against them on Monday. EG went with a blow-up style that involves Stitches, Tyrande, Jaina, and then whatever else. They happen to have Jaina Uther and...
They had Uther.
I'm gonna nitpick your phrasing.
Yeah, it's not a blow
Blow up style. I call that
it's
a
a
pick.
pick comp.
Pick,
Yes,
yeah,
thank
excuse
you,
me.
Jay.
Pick comp.
Excuse- Yes, that's what I meant to say, but thank you for correcting me. It was a pick comp. And let me tell you, the synergy that we saw between LZ and ZPs, LZeeps, as Kobe liked to... LZeeps, he coined, it's just, you get that hook, you get that lunar flare, you build people up. Do you think that this is going to be a common thing, just a stylistic choice, or do you think that they... in those games that Happy Fairy Dragon was just kind of falling into their play far too easily?
From our games in EU, that's all they run, is these type of pick styles, whether it's with Stitches Uther, Tyrande, Stitches, every game we were getting like kind of crushed in the early game because of how good they were at executing these pick style comps. Will it fully catch on like and become the normal meta in North America? I don't know, but we are starting to see it pop up here a bit more. We're seeing different variations of the pick comps as well, but it's definitely powerful if you execute it properly.
Yeah, Maelstrom was running it Saturday during Titan Arena. I mean, Dunk with King Caffeine. Oh, God, those were amazing. Every single time there was a hook that was out, there was a lunar flare, and every time that hook and that lunar flare hit something. It was pretty awesome. So I think it's already started to show its way here. Bobby, have you guys been running it too much? I don't think we caught you guys running it on Saturday.
Not last week, but we were definitely testing the waters with it.
Yeah.
Scrims. It's really good.
It's really interesting because a lot of people are like still, because there was a thread about Tyrande today on Reddit, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, dude, you're running the wrong build. You should be running Owl build still." And it's like, no,
Yeah.
The new objective with Tyrande is to burst, like, give the ability to burst somebody down because that's been gone from the game for the past, like, month or so. And she does so well lately with, like, Lunar Flare, with Hunter's Mark, and everything else.
It's interesting. I actually did a whole episode on Tyrande for the daily quest that I do, and I haven't put it on YouTube yet, so shame on me. But it's interesting because she was really popular with Arthas and Kerrigan, specifically with Kerrigan. We'd see Tyrande Kerrigan roaming around. Tempestorm would do that a lot. Other teams would do it frequently as well. But when Kerrigan and Arthas fell off, people were just kind of like, Tyrande's dead. Tyrande's done. And she is back in full force with Stitches, but the question that I have is, does she work well with other heroes? Like, does it make sense to grab Tyrande with Diablo after you flip them? You wait for the flip, you throw the Lunar Flare down. Have teams been experimenting with that kind of style? Because so far what I've seen is strictly Tyrande Stitches, to the point where in the second game of that series, EG first picked Tyrande Stitches.
I don't know if it ever gets to that point, but...
Yeah. Because it feels like you need to like if it falls into like you see the opportunity is there and the rest of your composition works with it, it seems to make sense. But I don't feel like you should be like first picking it and hoping that it's going to go well in the rest of the draft, because I feel like there's a lot of ways you can counter it in draft.
Yeah, I don't think she's as strong without certain heroes on that team composition.
Okay. Because their comp was actually very different. Game 1 had Jaina, Zagara, and Uther with the Stitches Tyrande. Game 2, I don't think there was a single hero that other than Stitches Tyrande, that was the same. They had Malf, I know that much. So it's interesting. But I'm curious to see that actually pan out in more games.
We've seen some double warrior Stitches Diablo too, kind of on that same concept. There's the potential to land that hook, and then of course the overpower into Shadow Charge is very nice. But also, when you get past the point with the heroics, there's the potential to land the hook, throw that combo onto whomever you landed the hook on, and then as the enemy team tries to chase, you just stand there with Diablo and throw down the lightning breath, and they have to walk through it to attempt to save that person that gets hooked. So I think that's a fun combo too, that we've been seeing pop up a little more.
We haven't talked about that yet. Talk about Diablo, man.
Yeah.
Kevin's favorite hero.
Let's talk about Diablo.
Bobby, you guys run a Diablo at all? You like it?
Yeah, we run Diablo. He's really good.
Yeah. He's in a really solid place right now. I like him a lot.
He's really good for like we run him with like say Illidan or something, and we dive them, and then he just pops lightning breath inside of their team, and they can't do anything.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that duo.
I think that's kind of how it was born in competitive play, at least over the past couple weeks. Predominantly Diablo and Illidan together. Especially if you have room to APOC, that's just the playing field for Illidan to get so much work done. But you can do Lightning Breath too. We've seen both run.
It's nasty too when you play Diablo with Kerrigan on certain maps.
Oh man,
it's brutal.
I love
like
it.
there's so many lane compositions that you can just easily win lane if you have like the Diablo there. Like if there's a Nuther, if there's a Kerrigan, if there's like any kind of stun, you can just overpower Shadow Charge them into turrets, and like it forces the enemy team to be so far away from your team that like you can sometimes even just like negate them from getting you can bully the heck out of them, or just have them roam. Like he's always been one of my favorite heroes to be in lane, and people are like, yo, that's stupid because Flame Stomp doesn't do anything. It's like, it's not because of that. It's because people always get greedy, and sometimes you can really punish them with it.
Same reason that Tyrael's a really good laner.
Rip. Very old school reference there, I guess.
Tyrael runs out of mana. Diablo never runs out of mana. He runs on the fear of his enemies.
He took it.
I like it.
Well done, Corey.
So, yeah, just harping on Diablo really quick. I was solo queuing today in Hero League, and there was Diablo on my team. I was playing Hammer, just a flip Shadow Charge, then Concussive Blast. Like, the guy was basically from his tower to our tower. It was actually kind of hilarious. But speaking to Diablo and Illidan as a pair, initially what people were doing was Sonya Illidan. This is something Kubi brought up last night. Do you guys think that Diablo's kind of taken Sonya's place, and that's why we haven't seen her in weeks? She kind of appeared, and then just like that, she's gone.
She played Saturday. They're in the finals, wasn't she?
I didn't actually get to catch MLG.
Yeah, she was. That's Cloud9 Maelstrom's playstyle though. They play her a lot.
So was it Caffeine playing Sonya?
I Dream
I Dream was playing Sonya? Okay.
Yeah.
I think they ran it with another tank.
ETC, I think.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It was ETC
If
Sonya.
you can pair up Sonya, Uther, ETC together, if you can get all three of those on the same team.
So much
Ugh.
lockdown.
God, that's difficult to deal with. That's a lot of CC.
But yeah, I mean, I think she still has a lot of, not really a lot of, but she has certain situations that she's going to do really well in. Because Leap is just so good, even though it's been nerfed so many different times. And her damage output, if you could get like,
Well, she does great damage.
if you have like anything that slows everybody down, I mean, her damage output's just off the charts still.
Yeah.
But
It's never been
she's
the issue with
still-
her. It's just
yeah.
survivability for her.
she's like a replacement Illidan, I find. Like, you can throw her into the middle of the enemy team, and as long as you can keep her alive, she can do a lot.
No.
Zoe is looking at me like he doesn't agree.
Well, replacement Illidan is like a bit of a stretch.
I
If
agree
she was
with
a
that.
little better, she would fill the same role potentially, but
Yeah.
She
she'd
doesn't-
have to be
yeah.
buffed consistently.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean that as in, like, she's as good as Illidan. No, God, no. I mean, like, she's like
When
a
Illidan's
consolation
banned out.
prize. Yeah, consolation prize.
She's much less flexible too, because like she can do great if the enemy team doesn't have a lot of interrupts. If she can actually get that whirlwind off,
Yeah.
she's hard to kill. But the second you poly her, good night. Like it's over.
It's the same for both.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
that's true.
so Odin has much better, I guess, sustain and
He's got more
and
mobility, though.
maneuverability, yes,
Yeah.
in team fights. But she makes up for it in other areas. She's better at laning. She's better at marking by a slight margin too. So I mean, usually people are going to go for the Illidan when they can, just because it's all about the team fight. But like you guys said,
Also, Illidan can cancel like every single CC if you time his Q or
Yeah.
W right.
Yeah.
It's
That's-
true.
can't
The
do that with
invincibility
Sonya.
frames.
Yeah, those unstoppables, though.
So ancient
But
Sphere?
they're really good together though if you get them on the same comp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is weird.
Any other crazy?
Actually, that's a question. Do you guys feel like that unstoppable... First off, it wasn't mentioned in any patch notes. Do you feel like, A, it's a bug? B, do we feel like it should stay?
I mean,
I think if it pops up and actually says unstoppable, that was intended because they coded it to
Yeah.
be like, unstoppable.
Does it say it for the W?
It does.
in
It
game
does.
text.
Okay.
And
Alright.
it's like Vala's Tumble. Same thing. She's always had that. So why wouldn't Illidan have it?
Okay, just making sure.
I
Just curious.
That's not necessarily the best logic.
Yeah.
mean, it was intended to be in game. Whether it's balanced or fair is a completely different question. I don't know. I kind of like the state of Illidan, but I
I do
think he
too.
is a bit too strong because he gets banned out 100% of games right now. Very, very
Seems that way, yeah. He's very good.
I like him. He's a lot of fun. He might need to be tweaked just a little bit, but I don't know. He's fun. I like him. I just wish people would let him be. I don't know. Every time he gets played, it's like, well, like Illidan wins. But people are starting to draft around it and like letting Illidan through, so maybe we'll see that in the coming weeks in tournaments. But
I'm still waiting for Blizzard to give me my Illidan janitor skin because Illidan cleans up
Cleans
fights,
Cleans
and
up?
I desperately want a janitor skin.
I had a quarter under my monitor. Anyway.
Oh, no.
Speaking of cleaning up. Sorry, no, I honestly just noticed that it was bothering the heck out of me. I don't know
Good.
if you guys ever have those little things.
Good.
Anyway. Yeah, I love Illidan, and I love the fact that he's back because he's just like every time I play him on stream or I play him and like somebody who's like doesn't really play that many times like kind of sees it, they're like, wow, he just looks like he's a lot of fun, and it's like finally he is, because for God knows how long he was like one of the worst people to play as. But I'm
Yeah.
glad to see that he's around because he makes the game look fun. Like in terms of like a spectator appearance, I think he makes the game look fun. I mean, if you're an Uther, you're trying to CC him, and he just W's the split second you're going for it for the stun, then it's really frustrating. Because, like, all right, well, that stun's gone. But if you're an outsider, Illidan looks really super fun.
Can't disagree. He's our Legolas, if you will. That Hobbit inspiration, making him so beautiful and elegant.
He needs his silence back on W, please. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, that was weird.
That was very strange to have, especially considering he has the cooldown reduction still on his kit. You could throw that out a lot. That got nerfed quickly. Good times.
Yeah.
Throwback.
Good. Any other crazy shifts that like crazy styles we saw in Titan Arena?
Hey, we've seen some of them fantastic trio. The Lost Vikings.
Yeah, we got lost
Ooh.
on Saturday. I can't believe they came out. They came out twice. Once they did really well, and the other time they did miserably. Bobby,
Yeah,
you played
Maelstrom.
against that. You played against those Vikings.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, I'll say it. I feel like you guys didn't really adapt too quickly to it, but it seems like Cloud9 was probably watching the games and was able to adapt a little bit easier to it.
That was on Blackheart's Bay, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't pick a comp we ever practiced, and we're just like, okay, we never play against Lost Vikings too. This is like, we'll see what happens on this map with this comp versus Lost Vikings. I was like, wait, they're 2 levels on us already. All right.
So, what map was it?
Blackhearts.
Blackhearts
I think they
Bay.
only played it on Blackhearts.
Yeah, they only played it on Blackhearts.
And
Yeah.
Vikings, they stayed together.
Yeah, Arthlon
Past
didn't.
waiting
really-
phase.
Yeah, Arthlon kind of kept them together. He kept putting coins on.
Eric.
Yeah, Eric.
Faster.
Well, actually, no. Yeah, Eric's the small one, right?
Yeah.
He kept putting coins on that one.
Well, he has more move speed, and when you have jump, you can get out of pretty much any situation with jump and sprint. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
I always forget their names. But yeah, that was interesting. I was hyped, but I was also like, I don't feel like this is gonna work. And then Cloud9 Maelstrom kind of like showed me why I thought it wasn't gonna work. I was like, if you just don't deal with them, like Bobby, it seemed like you guys were spending at least like 2 to 3 heroes to try and like deal with them a lot. What was your thought process like going through dealing with Vikings in the first place?
Well, our team composition wasn't that good to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't practiced as well. And so pretty much we gave them like a chance to just be able to soak and split. And as soon as they're able to get like a minor level advantage, they took all of our coins, took all of our objectives on that map, and we can't fight them. So usually like what we tend to do versus like a Lost Viking, we just bum rush the lane, and then we kill them and push them out of lane because they're really weak early. And then you don't let them just soak pretty much. And you got to make sure that your players are always soaking when they're not team fighting or going for objectives as 5. Because as soon as like your team doesn't soak one lane, that's when the Lost Vikings team comp is gonna be better than your team composition because they're gonna keep soaking no matter what. That's why they're really good on like say haunted mines. You put 1 into the mines and have 2 sit out there and just soak. It's really nasty once they're able to do that.
It's true.
Have you guys,
see if that
have you guys
develops.
messed around with them at all that you can share with us?
A little bit, but just like from theory crafting, it seems like they would be really broken on haunted mines.
Which doesn't see that much play as it is. But
Yeah.
It's cool to see that you guys are developing strategies for that map regardless. Been saying so one of these days, one of the top teams is just gonna secretly develop a crazy strategy for haunted mines. It's gonna.
And this guy, Mr. Jared up here was like, let's ban Haunted Mines because nobody's ever going to play it. And I'm like, just wait for it to have an interesting meta develop, and I think we'll start seeing a little bit more.
I still think it's an
It's
interesting.
still a bad. It's still
map.
rough map. It's still a rough
Yeah.
map.
So that's actually, I'm glad you bring that up, and I'd like to ask Bobby, what do you think about the idea of maps being banned from tournaments to the point where the tournament is restricted to 5 maps? Say Temple of the Spider Queen comes out, and we have 7 maps in the pool, and we say, okay, screw Garden of Terror, screw Haunted Mine.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Please
I hate
get
those maps.
rid of some of those maps.
They're the worst.
The worst maps. No
So
strategy.
You're down for tournaments, taking that initiative.
Yeah. As long as like the team knows ahead of time.
Right, it would be listed in the rules before the event starts. This is what's happening for this event. This is the playable map list, and
And as long as the tournament admin consults pros, more than 4 pros that just like, oh, do what you want, they consult.
these shots are.
Because you don't like, what if there's some like, oh man, I was playing with my wife the other day and we went 0-3 on Dragonshire, broken map, banned from my $2,000 tournament. No. Consult,
Oh, man,
consult
nice.
the pros.
Nice.
And you make a solid decision off of that. And yeah.
Mm.
Kev
Very
takes a
good.
bigger man to just walk away. Just walk away.
River, I wasn't necessarily pointing out Garden as a bad map, but people do dislike it. That was
I'll
just
go
an
ahead and say it.
example.
Garden's a bad map.
It is.
It's drawn out.
Boring.
I would say it's my least favorite map.
If
I feel like the objective is way too strong, and like there's like a lack of strategy on that map. Just because you just push until the seeds are up. If you have a lead, and you get 2 plant terrors, and it's pretty much game.
Yeah, I feel like if the objective was a bit more controlled, but the number of times where both teams just get a plant terror and it just turns into this like standoff, it's so boring. It's so boring.
I still have the same complaint that I had a billion years ago about that map, which is you have to pick up this giant clunky like plant terror, walk it across the entire map, and then like do like these really wonky team battles. None of it really. It's all really weird and.
All right, I got an idea. I got an idea for a map. I just came up with it right now.
Is it you capture a shrine at the top, a shrine at the bottom, and you turn to this awesome Dragon Knight that spawns in the middle where the action is?
No.
No.
It's a Terran.
That doesn't sound good at all.
It's a Terran
Sounds
map.
terrible.
It's a Terran map, inspired by Call of Duty, where you have call strikes.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
I got
Great.
If you get to 20 kills and they have 0 kills on the enemy team, you get a free nuke.
You get to summon dogs and they chase them.
But guys, there's
That's not a
dogs.
balanced map. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2.
There's been no situation
Go
where
back.
277 viewers have dismissed one person faster than that. Just boom. Bring up Call of
Yeah.
Duty, no one's listening to Jake anymore.
Yes.
Done.
But to talk about Garden Terror, I feel like the objective's way too strong. Like it's overpowered at some point. It just like power spikes randomly and can start killing everyone on its own. It's
Yeah.
really stupid.
Oh yeah, it's just like,
I think
50
I think like DK like it's a little weak early, but I feel like that's like balanced. Like the ramp up on DK is balanced. The ramp up on Garden is pretty ridiculous.
especially because with DK you have to make sure you have creeps with you, like, and you have to go through towers and keeps and forts, and those will all slow you down. But the Garden Terror literally polymorphs group people.
Queen's
Groups of
Curse.
and that's a polymorph. And its W stops turrets and
Overgrowth.
towers, so you don't even get the auto attack slow
Overgrowth.
that you normally get. Overgrowth. It just doesn't make sense to me
Yeah, it's
why
ridiculous.
they made it the way it is. And again, it just feels really slow and clunky, and it takes forever to get anywhere. It's a bad map.
Damn.
My favorite map.
You pick bad maps.
I'm just kidding. That's how I feel.
Darn right, you're kidding.
We can hope Spider Queen comes sooner than later.
Sooner.
Next patch, please. Next patch.
I
Next
mean, we're all
patch.
pretty surprised with how much Sky Temple has taken off in the competitive.
It's a great
scene.
map. I love watching Sky
Is
Temple.
it a great map?
Cloud9 Maelstrom, every single time there was a what map do you want to ban, it was Sky Temple. They do not like that map.
Well, I think they just probably don't like it versus Tempo Storm specifically, but
It might be a stylistic thing as well.
I like watching it at the very least.
Yeah, it's a fun map to watch. And it's far from the worst map, so
Yeah.
at the moment at least. You talk about Jaina and her rise.
Jaina.
It's been lots of
Jaina.
fun to watch her.
K1 Pro.
A1 Pro, man.
K1 Pro.
He is nasty with her, and we are seeing other teams start running Jaina now in these blow-up comps. Jaina's burst, well, out of a hook, out of a Tyrael judgment, she can dumpster some kids.
And I think
Yeah,
my
it's
favorite
sick.
part of all of it is we're seeing different builds constantly from Jaina.
Actually, it's more that the Jainas are becoming so much more confident in their positioning. They're not even taking sprint. They're just going icy veins and just wrecking kids, which is cool to see. I like to see that players are really taking the heroes to such a comfortable degree that they don't even need the escapes that were considered standard at one point.
Can't really argue because we actually saw a ban on Jaina last night from Tempo Storm. They were getting Shriggity Shrek'd by Quibsy, and they
geez.
said,
You know what? I'm just gonna say it right here. PSA.
Oh, hold on.
Beast Jaina, are you serious? Oh no.
they banned him. They banned her.
I mean, Jaina in itself is like really strong. Like if you're just good at flanking late game, you can one shot a carry. That's pretty much it.
I just still dealing with that.
This-
Anyway,
This is literally the most, like, I need to change the title to say shots fired.
it really is. Like, we need, like, I need significant more guns here to deal with. I'm gonna get abs.
I love it. I love it.
Though I have to call out Cloud9 then because
Gotta keep the balance.
I didn't like K1 Pro running Jaina against like Kerrigan Diablo. It didn't really seem to work out for them. Granted, everybody was really tired at that point.
Joe Johns?
But yeah, he was. I mean, he wasn't getting caught out like all the time, and I don't think he had the most deaths. But it just seemed like it was a very, very precarious situation that he was always in every single team fight. So I don't know. Jaina's still rough.
Jaina,
yes. She's still really rough. I don't know how I feel about her just yet. She does a lot of damage. I'll agree there, but I don't know how I feel about her still.
She's a ranged Zeratul. She blows people up so fast. She's the bursty mage this game is needed, and I'm so excited that she's part of the meta. Yeah. She just absolutely ruins Kid. You pair her with, I mean, like Jared said, the hook is cool, but like, just even like, if you manage to get a Maw, you follow up with Blizzard and Lunar Flare and Divine Storm, whatever. Blizzard alone is ridiculous. A, damage, B, slow. 35% slow as an option? That's disgusting.
Disgusting.
I'm a Jaina fanboy, so...
Yeah, I'm having to slowly come to accept it.
I remember when Kubi would just constantly just like always go for his situations where he can like make fun of me for me saying Jaina had potential. I lost faith. I lost faith too. I did. That's the worst part. I lost faith in her.
I'll use the usual cop out. The meta changed.
Yeah, that's actually what I like. Not only the meta change, but K1 Pro showed the world that she's
it was like a Disney movie with K1 Pro.
I can show you the Jaina.
Like Maelstrom, or not Maelstrom, it was actually Vortex, sorry. Vortex was winning with Jaina before she was in the meta. Yeah, whether you want to say that she's in the meta then or not, it's fine. But now that the meta has shifted to a better place for her and people know how to play her now, we're seeing her a lot. And she's not volunteer or anything like that, but she's definitely in the meta, and that's cool because she's my favorite hero in the game.
Damn.
Dang.
This game needs Lucian.
I don't know what that means.
Lucian was the double gun Obama character from League of Legends. We need that in this game.
I don't know about that second part, but
the Obama character.
The double gun Obama character. All right.
I like
I
it. I like it.
I'm gonna get that master skin soon.
Yeah, at first, yeah, I think that actually fits really well because Lucian was kind of like really underwhelming, and then all of a sudden, like people kind of figured out how to play him, and then like kind of started to become like one of the best heroes or champions in that game to play as, and I think Jaina's probably falling into the same spot.
Yep.
Oh, Cat, you're not allowed on desk. Disengage. All right, moving on. Nothing else in esports recap? Nothing else weird? We saw Vikings. We've seen Jaina double tank. We're seeing Tyrando.
Triple support?
That's been a thing.
That's
been a thing.
How do we feel about it?
I don't think we really have ever addressed the topic, though. How do we feel about triple support? How do we feel about like just more than one support? Do we feel like we still need more damage, or...
Supports are really strong. They've nerfed them time and time again, but no matter what, they keep showing their strength. I think... Corey said this last night. Maybe tanks are a little bit too weak. Maybe it's not the supports. Maybe the tank's just a little bit too weak.
We have a tank expert here. Bobby, how do you feel about this?
I think healing in this game is pretty ridiculous, and then they keep nerfing damage and burst damage.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, let's see, you have Stitches, ETC, Diablo. Yeah, a few other tanks can be more viable, but right now I feel like healing is just way too strong. We need an MS Warrior or something. Yeah. Something from Warcraft universe.
Give us Garrosh. Now.
Give us a warrior with MS, pretty much, because like right now, like they always nerf burst damage, and they keep the healing the same. It's just weird.
Yeah, I mean, look at the current state of supports. You have Tassadar, Tyrande, Malfurion, Rhaegar, Uther, and then I'm missing the other healer.
Brightwing and Lily.
Brightwing still see some play. Lily, we don't really see so much anymore. Yeah. That's so many. Like that's what 8 supports I just listed.
Yeah.
That consistently see play.
Played, yeah.
Yep.
And we have 3 warriors that are consistently played. It's
so
it's time we see more warriors.
You're talking about MS, and I like the idea of it. because
Mortal Strike, for those that don't know.
yeah, it's a reverse Hunter's Mark. So Hunter's Mark is 25% additional damage taken, while Mortal Strike is 25% reduced healing received from your team, in theory. We know Sylvanas is on the horizon. We saw her last year at PAX, and then they showed us a video with functioning abilities at BlizzCon. PAX East happens to be this Friday. Sylvanas, I will be a sad, sad nerd if she's not playable, but there's a high probability that they could give her a talent like Black Arrow. It reduces healing received for 4 seconds by 25%. Entirely on the table, and it would make sense in her kit. Would you guys like to see that in her, or do you think it's something that has to be on a warrior?
I think, I mean, with how crazy the hero design is in this game, you can try out basically anything and see how it works. They're relatively quick with changing things that are insane, at least right now. So if it was too broken, you know, they would just tweak it. But I think you can try multiple mechanics across many different playstyles and see how it feels. Like, look how many different types of pushers we've had. They've all been uniquely different, yet they still keep trying to make pushing work.
Yeah, because she's going to be a specialist.
Yeah.
So she's going to have weird things. Her kit, if you haven't seen it, she has a mind control. When she auto-attacks, she disables towers and minions. She's a very unique hero. And I think if there's a range to have silence or even reduce healing, she's the one to be it.
Be cool. Like a wounding shot or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a thing. Like in WoW. Or hunters have changed so many times. We're not going to even talk about that, but...
Blizzard made a statement about Mortal Strike at some point, didn't they? A while back?
They said they didn't like the idea to it because it has no counterplay, but the same thing could be said about Hunter's Mark, so it's kind of a weird statement to make.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just say they're going to retract that statement because I think they're wrong.
They said they don't like it, but they never fully said, like, we're not ever going to do it.
Yeah, they don't do it. They should just nerf healing then. I feel like Rhaegar's ultimate is so anti-fun. It's not fun to play against.
It's like exciting to watch in a match because it's such a make or break thing, but if you're good enough, you're gonna get it off, and it's gonna just win you that fight. 9 times out of 10. So
it's just so frustrating from a player's point of view.
I'm a Rhaegar player, so I love it. He's my main. It is marvelous.
Rhaegar's fun. He's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Rhaegar is a lot of fun. I recently just bought Rhaegar, so he's probably gonna get nerfed next week. That's what happened with me and Brightwing.
Great,
That's what
thanks,
happened with
Kev.
me and Anubarak. It's what happened with me and
Don't touch Jaina.
like 3 other people. I haven't touched Jaina. The only people I only have 4 heroes that are level 1, and I will let everybody guess what they are.
Murky, Jaina, Asmodan.
Diablo.
Did I get 3? Did I get 3?
Diablo.
I got 2.
2. Murky. Actually, no. Jaina's. Wait, who'd you say? Murky and who?
Jaina, Asmodan.
Nope, you only got 1.
Correct.
Lily. No, you played Lily. Vikings.
2.
Thrall?
3.
Oh my goodness. Thrall's the saddest thing.
Gazlo?
I had never
Chen,
liked
Chen.
Chen. There you go.
Oh, I got 3 out of 4.
Alright, Chin and Thrall is like really sad for me. I don't understand Thrall's nerf, to be honest.
He's so bad now.
Yeah, like he was okay before. Like there was counterplay. You can kite him and stuff like that. He's just a pub stomper, but then they nerfed him anyways into the ground.
So
And then
bad.
nerfed.
No, like
He's unplayable. Like I tried solo queuing with him, and I was just like, "This is pitiful." Like he's actually just not fun anymore.
he's the thing though. Here's the thing though, Bobby, is that like you have to, if it's a pub stomper, like that big of a pub stomper, you have to nerf him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, you have to think about the casual
Rip
player.
Nova.
Rip Nova. Just keep nerfing Nova. Every single patch, keep nerfing Nova.
Some really funny Nova plays, and I made my own style the other night where you get all the clone stuff, and then you get rewind at the end, and then you just start spawning out billions of Novas, and nobody knows how to deal with it. It's great in pub games. It's so funny.
You just watch them scatter, trying to blow them all up.
It's so funny. And then you just start mimicking them too, and then they just get completely confused. Then they don't know what's going on.
There's been some pretty funny GIFs posted on Reddit about that. I've enjoyed them.
All right, so people are saying what Thrall nerfs. They happened quite a while ago. They nerfed his self-healing. They nerfed his damage. They removed battle momentum from him. He received quite a few nerfs.
That battle momentum. Man, are you kidding me?
That alone was a huge nerf. But when you nerf the self-healing like by a large margin, and his damage output.
Yeah.
It's just like across the board. It's kind of like that the Nubarak effect. Just like, hey, let's just nerf everything about him, and hopefully he'll still be okay.
Yeah.
The anti-fun nerfs.
Bobby, how do you feel about a noob?
Met a few words.
I agree.
Appreciate that. What would you like to see them change?
I think, all right, there's a PSA again for Europe. I think they're good players, good teams. They team fight really well, but their drafting doesn't make sense on paper. Even China doesn't pick up a Nubarak. That says something. Nubarak, he's like a no-go. He's so squishy. He's like almost he's squishier than Asmodan, I think.
He is.
Like he dies instantly. He's like a backup tank. And what's the point of running a backup tank when you can run 2 overpowered tanks instead?
Yeah.
Like, why pick a Nubarak when you can play Diablo? Why pick Nubarak when you can play Mirrodin even?
I feel like this must have been Europe, but we saw a Nubarak and Kerrigan picked up together, and I was just like,
no, that was Murlocs on
Was it
Sky
Murloc?
Temple. Yeah, it kind of worked, but I think it was more of like a hey, let's try this strategy. Nothing against Murlocs. I think it was Murlocs that ran it, but
it was several weeks ago at this point.
Yeah.
But.
Nothing against Morlocks, but you guys look terrible.
Did I say that? Did I say that?
That's what you implied, Kubis.
I said it was a bit of a let's throw this strategy. It worked. They made it work, but it was something we never saw again. Actually, maybe they even tried it the next game or 2 games down the road, and it got shut down. So take it at face value.
Let's talk about, like you just brought up Europe, Bobby. Are you guys having plans to play in Europe? I know a lot of NA teams have been hinting at it. Temple Storm's the only one that's actually shown up there yet. But are you guys looking on your EU?
All right.
It wasn't like that.
So it's like, hey,
More shots are being fired right now.
words. You
On
gonna
all the teams up.
We need you over there. We need Vortex to help us fight for America. You guys coming?
Freedom.
Possibly in the future. We're actually thinking about it. Because to be honest, like I was really impressed with I think 3D Max played you guys. Their team fighting
They're so good.
pretty damn good. So like I was really impressed with their team fighting.
Yeah, man. ADRD.
I like
I
him.
think it's the only name that really stood out from that entire tournament. No offense to Europe, but ADRD.
Sham 2 knows no European players except Ace and ADRD.
And
Oh
Lowell.
well, dude. There's no
Q.
Illidan.
Okay.
Oh well. There's no Illidan.
Well,
Lowell's a cool guy. I met him at BlizzCon. He's really, really chill guy. Okay, all right, good. Maelstrom making their way over. The rest of you NA team get your butts over there in Europe. You're welcome to come to Freedom too. Come challenge us here.
I was thinking about making next Titan Arena, if there is going to be one, international, but
Do it.
on NA servers.
Do it. I don't see why
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
Swap
actually-
servers between each match.
yeah, swap servers.
That
Don't do
sounds
planet
fun.
servers.
Mm,
swap
Invite
servers.
EDG. Invite EDG.
there's no swapping servers because
Hey.
this game doesn't necessarily have the same kind of hero pools available on each thing.
Listen, if they want to fly to
What?
America,
Huh?
so if they want to fly to America, they're welcome to. But I'll leave the door open.
But like if you look at Dota and stuff, they do tournaments that are like hosted in Europe, but you have to play in Europe. Anyone can play, but you're playing on that server.
Yeah.
And like it
For
doesn't.
That's what Ghost of Gamers is.
for general tournaments like the Ghost of Gamers, for instance, it's an EU event, but NA is allowed to play in it. Those should be played on EU tournaments because it's an EU event. But like we've been approached by multiple people and organizations to do show matches versus EU teams, and all the discussions have been we'll swap servers because it's.
Oh, you mean you just swap hosts? You don't
No,
actually
Oh, you
swap
actually
servers.
log
swap
out of the
servers?
game,
You
go to the
actually
other
log
server.
in.
There's a total of 20 accounts between the 2 teams. Yeah. No, that's not.
That'd be 10.
Yeah.
That's a bit hard to force it as a rule because then every single
These
team.
for specific show matches.
Okay, that's
like-
fine,
Yeah.
but when you do a tournament with those kind of rules, you're forcing every player to have an EU account leveled, and that's an unrealistic thing to have to.
Don't enter
force.
if you can't put the time in.
That's what I just said though. Like it's fine for tournaments to be whatever region that tournament's in. It should be hosted on that server.
Right.
We didn't throw a fit
Okay.
when we went to ESL.
That's what I'm
or
trying
EU.
to say.
We were okay with playing on the EU server, but for show match and stuff, like let's do a best of 7. Then
Right.
That's,
No, that makes sense. It makes
Fuck it.
perfect sense. But in a
Hey,
tournament setting, I think that's a bit much to ask. It's like if it's an NA tournament, you're playing on that server.
yeah. No. I
Open
agree.
it to all regions, but know that they're playing on NA. That's just my 2 cents, at least.
I need to drop a bomb right
Yes, go ahead.
now. We're talking about tournaments. Got 3 letters for you guys. HPL.
Ooh.
Jared, go. Go, Jared.
All right, so
Tell everybody in.
end of HPL Season 1, they had this big announcement, guys. It was so glorious, it was so amazing. Season 2 of HPL is going to have a $2,400 prize pool. Now, Jake, when we were told of this $2,400 prize pool, that was the biggest prize pool we had heard for Heroes of the Storm. But the brilliant minds over at HPL decided that they wanted to split that $2,400 across not 2, not 3, but 4 regions, making the prize pool for NA only $750. A 3-month league where first place gets $500, second place gets $250, and everyone else dedicating their time to that 3-month league gets squat.
Bobby just tips the Cavs like, I ain't getting in on this.
No comment.
No comment. All right.
I was just gonna say that it's like the downtime in HPL is ridiculous. It took us like 3 hours. It took them 3 hours to get to through 2 series or something like that, just because they have so much downtime between their games as well.
The format, and here's how ESL does their format. Not just ignoring that horrible prize pool split to 2 regions that are non-existent, not in just like ruining NAEU tournament, but they don't have a format for how the matches are played. For ESL, it's you play second, but your match is scheduled for 10 Eastern, right? That's, I believe, the time. Yeah, 10 Eastern. So you can play early if it ends early, but your match is scheduled for 10 Eastern. HPL is you play. So we played. We were supposed to play today. People weren't asking in chat, but we're playing this. We're still playing today, but it's being cast on Monday for some reason. But we are third match today. We are told that we play when the second match ends. How do we schedule scrims around that? How do we schedule anything? We just like have to just sit around waiting until the second match ends? Like there's no set time for that match. It was just be ready for when that second match ends, guys, because that's when you're going live.
Yep.
That's
We had to cancel a scrim because of that. It was pretty lame.
We had nothing scheduled today, scrim-wise, because we couldn't
just
like
poor
play around
planning.
it.
Yeah, that's not good.
Has feedback been given to them about this? Do they not care, or?
Yeah, I mean, there's feedback all the time. I don't know if they listen, but
Okay.
You should send out an email, angrily worded. Maybe throw a GIF in there.
Nasty Graham.
Nasty Graham. Send them some glitter. Well, I mean, see, Zoya, that's the thing, though. You know, like, on one hand, I can see some oversight in that, but at the same time, like, if you have these legitimate concerns, it sounds like you actually haven't sent an email or talked to them directly and said, this is unacceptable to what we normally expect from tournaments. Have you?
yeah.
Are you just complaining about this on stream right now, or have you actually had a one-on-one discussion?
We have an HBL chat group that we've all discussed the format, and there's feedback constantly from HBL. You know the people in this community. We have ZPS
Yeah, but there's
and
people in this
Greg
community.
Fields in this community that you think they haven't
So,
voiced their concerns?
all right. So when did this season start?
This week?
Yes.
To qualify for this season, there were prerequisite matches, right? You had to play in
It was
qualifiers.
It was top 4 from HPL Season 1, and then there were qualifiers that were like happening like 3 months long.
How long is the season?
3 months. I believe it's 2 months. It's 12 weeks of group play, and then I don't know how the final bracket plays out.
And
yet.
it's 500 for first, 250 for second. It's a lot of time and days to commit.
I mean,
Or-
you know, if you want to play it, you want to play it. If you don't want to play it, don't play with it. I mean, that's...
Yeah,
that's-
I think that's what it boils down to. It's just like though.
Well, that's fine, but they have I don't know, they didn't need to host like an Oceanic and a Korean league.
Yeah, I guess. But maybe they want to extend it to all the regions. I mean, again, you know,
I think
it's...
Jared's
if-
more upset about the false advertising,
Yeah.
or quote unquote,
Yeah,
that they advertise, hey, we have a giant prize pool, and
$2,500.
to pull
which is-
teams in, and then
Right.
maybe that's not the case.
Right.
Understand it. I'm sure a lot of the teams are upset about that.
Now, don't get me wrong, we're playing in the league, you know, and at this point,
It's
even the second place prize pool is more money than most tournaments are giving us right now.
right. That's
So,
the base
Yep.
prize for
It's-
Kings Monthly,
it's-
which is
it's-
what CSC puts up out of his own pocket. Really, there's not a lot of money in the scene. It's just a huge commitment, and that
Yeah.
we all thought it was a $2,500 prize pool for each tournament. Really.
It was 2,400 announced for season 2, and then, voila, 750 for North America, 750 for Europe, and then the rest
Oceanic,
and then Korea, I think.
they get 375 for first, and then 125 for second each.
All right, so throw this question out there: if you're dissatisfied with the money, would you rather they not throw the tournament at all?
No one's saying
no.
that.
I just want them to be transparent with everyone. Like they should just be honest with everyone versus just like saying, all right, but this is how much money we're doing for this league, and then tell you later on that, oh, never mind. I think transparency is really, really, really important when you're running a tournament.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Can't argue.
Agree 100%.
Yeah, that used to be a thing. It's going to be interesting. I believe they're doing broadcast Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yes.
Mondays and Wednesdays.
And it's good because it provides more content for the community. But that means Monday, Wednesday, that's HPL, Tuesday, Thursday, that's ESL. Of course, Wednesday, what everyone's going to be watching is Town Hall because that's all that matters. But
Absolutely.
Wednesday is also Heroes Hype tournament as well.
yeah, but then we have
tournament.
all these amateur tournaments. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, there's all these new amateur tournaments to help get into the scene. So in terms of esports, are we already oversaturated? Does it need to be consolidated? Or in terms of growing the scene, what do you think is more important, having opportunities to play or having a resource that tells you where all these opportunities are?
Why not both?
Why not both?
Both.
Thanks, Scooby.
Here's the thing about oversaturation, which I've always hated. It's like everybody complains about oversaturation, but the point of oversaturation is if
options.
they don't do well,
Weed out the
then
worst.
don't play them.
Yeah.
It brings out competition. If one tournament is going to bring out something that's got a lot better of a tournament than whatever the heck, I'm throwing, or you're throwing, or anybody's throwing, then obviously we need to step up our game and work on something that's going to be better so that everybody starts having a more competitive attitude. It's the whole entire idea behind this game, isn't it? Competitive attitude? I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. I just, maybe we should be a little bit more competitive.
Well,
if the schedule's completely full, maybe people only watch whatever's really good. And you know what? They start watching what's really good. And who's going to throw the really good stuff?
Viewers on MLG TV.
I played League back when it was growing, back in Season 1, until the beast it is today. And it was really oversaturated in Season 1 and Season 2, but no one really complained. This is like tons of tournaments. We had Go for Heroes, or Go for LOL. Think about Heroes. Go for LOL. We had like the Major League. We had some other like random tournaments that they're flying people out to. They had MLG. Like there's just tons of stuff going on, IEM, at all times that the community just loved it. They just ate it up. IPL, like everyone just wanted to watch every single tournament, even if it was like one weekend next weekend.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing.
Which was always frustrating, because StarCraft had the same thing. And try being a commentator in that kind of atmosphere, because you're going to say, like, oh, man, I haven't seen this type of thing before. And then somebody's like, well, obviously he didn't watch Saturday's IPL, duh. And it's like, sorry, that was the one day I missed watching 8 hours of content for League of Legends.
Yeah.
God, StarCraft had the same issue, and it was just like so frustrating to deal with, like, because you had to watch everything, or people would just be like, this guy doesn't watch this game at all.
That's already how Heroes is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we're at oversaturation yet. I think this
No. But the point I was trying to make is we have so many people going in to try to run events now, which is great, and we have all these big events, which of course the money won't be there until we have sponsors and once we have viewership. But it's really, I think the community needs to buckle down and get more outreach and just ease the accessibility, because Heroes Hype and other groups like 2ARC are putting in the good effort there. But I think as a community, we really need to remedy that and help people get in, because I tweeted something about a tournament and I got like 4 or 5 tweets from people like, I didn't know Heroes had tournaments. Like, there's a massive number of players that play Heroes of the Storm that have no idea there are tournaments. They have no clue, and they might be interested in it. They might want to watch it. So that's something that as a community we need to figure out.
Yeah. It is. What do we need to do? Like TV Guide?
You laugh
some
about
really
it.
bad ads in there.
Like right now, the go-to place. Where do you want to look up either Heroes announcements, Heroes news, or Hero stuff? Where do you go? Right now, the only place we have is Reddit.
And Heroes Hype is putting a lot of work in. Yeah,
They're trying, but they're not there. I wouldn't even say they're even halfway to what Reddit is right now on viewers. Like, not even close. Like,
No,
Reddit
yeah,
probably
that's
is
fair.
like the main place right now that people go for content. And I know people give CSD this like all the time and stuff. Like, we need this on the sidebar.
Oh,
That's the best. That's the best spot right now we have. We have no we talked about it last week, I think. For Smash, you guys had Smashboards. For me and Kevin, we had TeamLiquid.net. We had this place to go that was this giant database of forums and strategies and guides. And
literally the home of the community.
Yeah.
And that's what we're lacking.
And we don't have that right now. Like, the closest thing we have is Reddit.
I mean, SoloMid. Look at SoloMid. It's a massive organization, and that's exactly what that was, right?
Yep, I was there when I was building. I was around Andy and Dan back then.
And where is this community's SoloMid? Is the Smashboard, the Team Liquid?
Maybe that type of thing has died out.
I don't think so.
Or
No, it didn't die out.
I don't think so.
No one has done it yet.
I think I mean, the number of times people have like sent me messages. I get PMs all the time, like asking. They ask me to tell things to CSD, which is really weird. Just like send him a message, but like it's, hey, where do I get all this info? Hey, is there a place where I can look at all this? Why isn't there a weekly news post on Reddit that gives all this info?
Yeah.
Yada yada yada.
wouldn't it be really cool if Tempo Storm was making a Heroes website that hasn't been announced yet, and we're hoping to do that very thing?
Step it up and get it out faster.
Yeah, we're working on that.
Wait, we're working on it. So
Yeah.
you did just announce it. You
Uh-huh.
announced it's coming? Oh, okay, cool.
We're
I mean,
going-
Heroes
Spoiler
Fire,
alert. Spoiler
Heroes
alert.
Fire, I think, is the closest that we have to like a TSM right now. Because
Yes.
at least for now,
yeah.
and at least for League of Legends, when I was a scrub in League of Legends, which was all the time when I played League of Legends, I didn't know what builds were, so I was just
Hey,
like, okay, I'll just go
you
to
were
TSM.
the best Tarek I ever played with, man. Get off of him.
Is Tarek a hero that's never played?
Truly outrageous. He was for a really
that
long
guy?
time. It's like, yeah.
Gems?
Honor of the Fifth Age? Ah, yeah.
Kubi,
Anyway.
Kubi, let's
Fuck that
install
League.
League tonight and play League.
What?
Isn't the show about HOTS?
We don't play League. That's
Oh,
the
this
joke.
show's
That's
about
the joke.
heroes.
Anyway, so that was the great thing about TSM was, I used to go there and I'd be like, I don't know how to play this hero or champ, so I'd learn a build on the spot. And I think Heroes Fire at least has that right now, especially with the guides, because the guides are exactly like one for one. So I think that's pretty cool, and I think that's great for that. But in terms of like actually having open discussion and all that, I think it doesn't exist yet still.
Yeah. I can't argue.
Especially because people on Reddit are like, okay, here's what I think about this one hero. And you're like, that's wrong. And they're like, okay, downvote. Downvote. That's not what I was saying. It's like, no, the forum is supposed to be there so that when the reply's there, it stays.
Well,
Hey, Kevin,
Yeah.
that gun was really cool. I want to do what Kevin does. He's got plugs nearby. He's got guns. We just need to have props on hand for whenever we need.
This is my modded Nerf gun.
do you shoot tacos into your mouth like taquitos?
I was really hoping there wasn't a Nerf dart in that because this thing really hurts. I don't know if you can hear the metal on metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have like 9 quarters compressing the spring, and I got rid of all the air resistors and did a whole bunch of mods. It really hurts when you get hit by it. Really hurts.
I need to have a prop. I need to have props by me so
Yeah.
I can do that.
Step it up. I got fairy dragons. Ooh, I might install Awesomeness tonight. Good suggestion, Oniui. They have a new hero. Let's just get an update on the poll that was posted a little bit earlier by Hollowness, and it doesn't seem to be working. It looks like the Spider-Man wallet did beat out the Twilight wallet. So, Jared, you live to see another day. You just have to make sure you put a D next to the Spider-Man logo so we know it's a Spider-Man wallet and not a Spider-Man wallet. Very good,
yeah.
very good. Moving to our next segment, Jared, why don't you take us away?
Guys, do you know what time it is? Bobby, I want you to dance with me, all right? I believe.
I don't know about that.
It's time for Kubi's questions.
Oh, I'm clicking the
Come
wrong
on,
thing.
Bobby. Come on, Bobby. Yeah.
Good enough. Yeah, we can deal with that.
So I was told not to make a question tonight.
Rip.
What?
Nah, I'm kidding. I got a question, you silly goobers.
Rip.
Okay.
Did you call us Coobers? Is that what
Goobers, but I like Goobers.
I was gonna
You
say
got-
Coobers should be like your new
Yeah.
fans or subscribers.
The cougars. I like that. Nice idea, Kev. All right. This is the first time I've just straight up lifted a question from Reddit, but this one was too good to pass up. So we're going to go with it. And so full credit to GYGSQT. I'll go with Giga Squat. That's his name. But he asked the question. It's actually a lot of comments. I don't think any of you guys replied to it, but the question is, which standard talent choice do you disagree with and why?
Kubi, like the last 8 Kubi's questions have been about general talents.
No. Standard talent. Like things that are picked 100% in tournament.
Oh.
Why do you disagree with it? Like which one is it? Take it away. So who wants to jump in? Because I mean, it could get sniped, so you probably want to answer sooner than later.
All right, I'm gonna actually answer that without actually answering that. One thing that I actually changed my mind on was I used to be like, Feral Heart, you should always pick Feral Heart 100% of the time. Then I played Rhaegar and I took Farsight, and I was like, holy crap, you just constantly have vision of the map. Like anytime you have a question, it's like, oh look, Farsight is off cooldown. Farsight is always off cooldown. It's such a low cooldown.
So not only did you not answer the question, but you answered opposite 100%.
I know, that's exactly. Sorry, that was just something that I noticed recently. But yeah.
Great.
Kev's random thoughts.
Kev's random thoughts. It's not random. It's totally pertaining to the question. Something that I always disagreed with, but then I actually tried it out recently, and I was like, okay,
it's kind of map dependent. Both are very good. Okay. For Feral Heart Farsight, but generic talents, that's the question.
Not generic.
Not generic.
Talents that are like 100% like the must pick on this talent tier. What do you disagree with for competitive play? Because you guys are all playing at a high level. Or casting at a high level for some of us.
That is a tough one, Kubi, man. This would be this is one that you would have to prepare us before.
I know.
Man, this one is tough.
I'm looking through all the heroes.
Yeah, I'm just looking at heroes right now.
I have some follow-up questions if we want to do a little bit rotating while everyone else thinks. But I thought we could also expand this to which heroes overall do we feel are standard picked in the competitive scene but don't agree with? Perhaps they are overvalued. And which heroes do you think should be probably standard picks but aren't?
I find it a bit surprising that we don't see any Arthas at all. Arthas did receive a sizable nerf. And yes, he might fail in comparison to maybe Diablo, ETC, Stitches, but I still think he has a huge place because of the amount of presence and lockdown he gets. He has Howling Blast, and then he has Frozen Tempest, which is slow. So when it comes to just being a frontline in that fight, he's still hard to kill. He still has Rune Tap, it got nerfed. He still can heal himself with Death Coil, and then Army of the Dead, not what it used to be, still has a lot of power. So I find it surprising that he's not part of that common pick. We never see him. He's dead. Bobby has thoughts.
I think
I like this.
I think Tyrael might be a pick people aren't looking at, even though Casticide is gone. That's pretty sad. You can run a specific composition with him. You can make it work. I still think
he's hiding that composition though. He doesn't want to say what it is.
Oh no, we use it as a troll versus Barrel Boys in that show match, but it actually works if you actually work really hard with it. You can play Nova with it. You can still blow people up. Especially people run Rhaegar a lot and they don't like to play Zeratul. You can just jump on Rhaegar, one shot him. That's if your team's good at flanking and stuff like that. So I think Tyrael might be one of those picks.
Did you have Falstad in that or no?
Yes. Wait.
Yeah, we have Falstad.
That was the original.
They were still running. They ran it last week, yeah.
Before Falstad got changed or got the rework, that was Falstad Tyrael was a very common combination to see on a lot of teams. So Tuark still runs it pretty frequently, but I want to say that they might be the only team messing with it since the Casticide change.
Other than Vortex, clearly.
Have they? Well, yeah, that was Dinga. I don't think they've played it. Have you guys played it in any other?
Thing it doesn't matter now, huh?
Never. That was the one time only. We're like, oh wait, this actually works. Everybody was tryharding with the real comp, and we were like, oh, this actually works a little bit.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Jake, are you attempting to throw me under the bus? Because I have a much larger bus I could throw you.
Nope.
Under. Okay, good.
How do you guys have so many buses just stacked up? One person
is like, man.
One hero that I think we see somewhat.
Did we just give up the talent question?
No, we're not. No,
we're not.
I'm looking.
That's a good one.
Because I'm still. But it's actually kind of okay. First off, I think it's actually a really difficult question that you asked because there's only 4 heroes that are never picked, and they're not picked for a reason.
That's a good point.
I think one hero that we never see, and I still think that we should see a lot more often, is Zagara. especially after her Mutalisk buff.
She's,
I think we should
she's
be
getting
seeing.
played a ton ever since that patch.
No, I wouldn't say that.
No, she
It's
really
okay to
hasn't.
give it. I'd say it's fine to give an answer of a hero that is played somewhat, but you think should be more of like a mainstay, like in that like
Yeah.
A or S tier. So Cigar is a fine answer.
I think Zagara is a lot more sustained damage. She's not easily interrupted, and I think that her Maw and a couple of other like things. Which she's such a strong hero that I'm surprised she's not a higher tier pick.
Well, especially with the rise of ETC, you pair Maw with Dance. Oh my God, is it good?
I think
For sure, her maul is like the only counter to Diablo's
Lightning Breath.
Fire Breath too.
The only
Yeah.
one in the game.
It
Yep.
sounds like a bug. That feels like that should not be the way that those two interact.
I like it.
Not a
Kev,
pun.
are you okay?
Fun.
All right.
You're trading a heroic for a
The sec-
heroic. If it's
sec-
so, just so the viewers understand what we're talking about, if you maw a lightning breath that is happening, Diablo gets pulled into it, and the channel of lightning breath continues for the entire duration. Will expire before he's released out of the maw.
Well, yeah, but he's supposed to be A, unstoppable, and B...
He's not stopping. He's just in a big ass beast.
Yeah, but...
some serious heartburn in that maul.
It should just explode when he comes out.
Oh, that'd be
Fire
so cool.
everywhere.
So the second question was, what heroes we don't see that we think we should?
Yeah, that's what.
I
I
swear
think,
to God, Zoya. I swear...
That's what everyone
Oh,
else.
I got a
answered
serious
before.
answer. I think we wrote off Tychus way too quick.
That would be my answer too.
Oh yeah, I agree with that too.
I think we could. I don't think people played around with Tychus. I mean, they're enough. Like just ignoring the Odin versus Laser discussion, there are multiple builds you can run on him, and I think he. I mean, I haven't seen anything that was like impressive yet, but I think like Tychus was played for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then just gone. I think we wrote him off a bit too quick.
I think it's weird that Tempo Storm doesn't play him. Especially, I've always given kudos to KO's Tychus.
Has
I
a good
think
Tychus.
He did a lot of work with it, especially like the first like week and a half after the change. I was like, okay, they're still going to continue running him, and then you guys just stopped. I'm surprised. Is there a particular reason for that, or
There are so many good damages in the game right now.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's
they're
what
in
it
the
comes down
healthiest
to.
spot, Assassins for
No,
sure?
Tychus.
Have they ever not been in a healthy spot?
No.
No.
Tychus is like we see him on Sky Temple, and I think that's largely due to the way the objective works. Do you think he's still good on all maps, or would you always pick Hammer over Tychus in a lot of situations?
Hammer.
Always pick
Range.
Hammer. Hammer's
Range,
broken.
man.
Always pick.
Yeah.
Hammer.
Always pick Hammer.
Plus Nexus Frenzy. Oh my God. It's like the only time
Like-
that Tychus starts getting really, really good is when he gets like Nexus Frenzy,
Yeah. Next.
kinda.
It's good in his
I don't
Odin.
know.
Yeah.
It's
I
good
mean,
as well.
I think Tychus is viable, but I mean, you like I don't know. You should never draft Tychus over Hammer. Hammer's just broken.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hmm.
It's like asking about Illidan or Valo. They're just, they're the top tier damage right now.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm still
No.
thinking on that first question.
I'm-
man.
I'm
It's,
looking
Okay,
through
all right.
the
I don't know
list.
about that first question because I haven't really seen people like skill their heroes incorrectly.
yeah.
But
I'm
no,
like-
the question isn't. It's not incorrectly. It's like, do you disagree with something that everybody grabs?
Like a talent pickup that we always see. Do you think there should be like
There's a better
more
there's a better-
flexibility? I mean,
For
and-
instance, you guys ran block before everyone else on Zeratul. It was you guys that started that on Vortex.
Yeah.
I guess you kind of took it from Korea or whatever you want to say, but you were the first one in the NA to do it. Everyone was taking the cooldown reduction on Blink.
Yeah.
And then you guys were the first one to swap the block.
That is a good example where someone disagreed with it, started running something else that seems maybe counterintuitive, and now it's a thing. Maybe it's just because people didn't think about it enough, and that's just the point of this discussion. is to
The
really-
sanctification we pulled out, we took from EDG, China.
Sanctification.
Thank
You guys,
That was actually really good with certain comps. I guess like, I guess I don't agree when some ballers go auto attack. I always think W build is better. That's just my personal opinion.
I absolutely agree. You do just as much single target damage with a multi-shot build Vala as auto attack damage does.
except you're hitting more things.
Except you're hitting more things. Exactly.
and you got to
Yep.
slow.
I 100% agree with Bobby. I do not understand auto attack.
I agree with that too.
And you get a slow, and it's at a bigger range, so
This
you can
is
play more safely.
this Kubi question might be too much.
Too much?
This is like something we prepare. Like we take
That's why
notes on
I mean
for like
I
2
don't
weeks
normally
in
just
advance.
grab questions from Reddit, but I thought this was a really good one.
This
So
one's good.
credit to Giga Squad.
I say we bring this back next week. We have a week to think on it.
What?
That's not how Kubi's questions
Are you
work. Jake.
serious?
Yeah,
No.
we answer this now.
It would
Jake.
be a segment, not a Kubi's question. We would develop it into a segment.
No.
Oh,
Okay,
Nope.
all right. All
So
right.
we're gonna call it Giggler's questions. Giggler's segment. What's the guy's name?
Giga Squat.
Kubi's
Giga
kitty
squat.
is limping. I think she had a battle with a.
She's still limping?
Yeah.
All right, all right, I'll take a look after. All right,
She
you know
seems
what?
fine.
No. We are staying here. We
Oh,
are
yeah,
doing
we're
this.
definitely-
And we are coming up with an answer for this because, gosh darn it, I've been looking.
Okay,
so
I got
long.
one. Gidbin. I think Mule and Clairvoyance are better 100% of the
good.
time.
That's a,
I do
that's
not
a great
think
answer.
Gidbin should be the go-to choice. It does okay damage bonus, but Mule and Gidbin, it doesn't matter, or no, Gidbin, Mule and Clairvoyance both can situationally be better.
I don't know. Gidbin in the right situation. If you already have a mule, whoa, I'm saying this. If you already have a mule in your team, even if you don't have a mule, because Gidbin, the only thing that I really like about Gidbin, don't care crap about zombie wall. Spiders being out a little bit longer is nice. Frogs, yeah, whatever.
That's
When you, huh? No, I'm saying the Gidbin affects all those.
Affects your trait.
The nicest thing is the trait, and when that ties in with specialized toxins, oh man, is that nice. Those 2 extra
25%
ticks.
stacked on everything.
Those 2 extra ticks. Oh, it's so nice. That's a ton more damage on Ravenous, on spiders, on everything. Just those 2 little more ticks on your auto attacks. That is so much more damage.
I like, yeah, it's good.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Really?
I think Mule and Clairvoyance is really good, actually. I don't know, because I feel like Nazebo he's picked for one reason, that's to drop his ultimate.
Yeah. I mean, it's map dependent.
But his
But his
heroic
ultimate gets a
is-
massive. Yeah.
It gets the trait, which
With-
is affected by Gidbin.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, I think Gibbon's still good, but I understand Mule and Clairvoyance are really good as well.
Especially with the rise of Farsight and how we're seeing that where people are using Farsight / Clairvoyance not just to like confirm information, they're also using it as a safety net or deny. Like you throw Clairvoyance on a camp and they're like about to do it, some teams will just straight up back.
They'll just back up. They're just like, oh well, we can't do this.
It's a good denying factor.
Yeah.
It's not that we found more uses for Farsight. Clairvoyance has gone, even though I think Farsight's a 30-second cooldown and Clairvoyance is a 60.
Yeah, Rhaegar just gets everything better. He has better healing ward.
I still
All
think Clairvoyance
Okay.
is
All right.
So I know the people are going to, you guys are going to throw this back at me. I have an answer. I'm going to throw Muradin players under the bus. I do not understand the Stormbolt pickups for the first 2 talent tiers. I don't get it.
No, dude.
I don't
No.
get it.
Dude,
Kevin's
have you
freaking out.
played Muradin with those?
At the very least, the first talent.
The 5.
The sledgehammer, the structure damage and sapping ammo. I don't get it.
No. Okay, first off, you were wrong. Those are awesome. If you pair those up with, if you pair the 2 of them up, the one with extra 5 damage to extra 400% damage against,
Yep.
that affects jungle camps. So you can take jungle camps in like an instant. That affects.
Really? That's
Yeah.
what you're doing. That's what you're sending your Muradin to do.
There is a ton of things dude, you can take jungle camps quicker as Muradin than probably any other hero with that.
Yeah, you could also have the double triggering AoE slow. That sounds pretty nice too.
But it's more of a utility in terms of like everything else. Like he's really
Who
good.
cares
at
about his ability to jungle? Who cares?
No, his jungle,
Jake, go back to cams.
his
Jake,
pushing,
go back to cams, quick.
pushing is like OP with that on it. You play Haunted Mines, you know you at
I'm being trolled, right? Please.
No, at like 7 minutes, you're doing 1,100 damage with those against like buildings and minions. Are you kidding me? Are you denying that?
This is
Kubi, don't stop.
I have no words. No one's doing push Muradin. What is that? Are you serious?
What are you talking about? If you're ever with your team and you're in a lane, you're pushing as Muradin. You can push down anything in like an instant. You can take jungle camps.
That's why people are picking Muradin?
Bobby. Any words?
So
I know
they
you're
push
in
with him
chill
down the
mode.
lane? Is this? I'm being
Chair mode.
I think Block or Infused Hammer is better than Perfect Storm, but I do think Sledgehammer is really good. And Thunderburn, like I can understand why you would go that, but I don't know. I
What
think
about Third
Sledgehammer is
Wind?
really strong. Third Wind? I don't know. Like Sledgehammer is so broken if you think about it. Like if you sit in top lane on Dragonshire, for example, you can just like walk past the creep wave and throw it at their towers. But I mean, I can understand why you would go those other things, but I do think Block is better than.
Kevin, your smug
Storm.
face is infuriating.
No, I don't disagree. It could be. I think he's right. Like I think it's just based on playstyle. To be quite honest, for Mirrodin for those two.
I just find it hilarious that Kubi thinks
100%. Everybody takes those 3 storm.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be 100%. It should be very situational, in my opinion.
I think it's a little situational, but at the same time, if you're ever with your team, you're doing it like most people are like when you're doing jungle camps, you're rushing to do them. Like if you can get them done faster, why wouldn't? It's so much damage. I really don't think you understand how much damage it is.
400% is.
That's. But he also gets that like what once every 10 seconds, so it gets to fire once while you're capping that camp. It's not like it eliminates. If he could walk up to siege giants and just kill them instantly, that'd be one thing. That's not the case.
It's close.
No, it's not.
It's a lot of damage, bro.
Mm-mm.
You've been playing your Murdens wrongs.
All right, that's my answer. All
right, I'm gonna say an answer, and I'm gonna get yelled at.
I'm done.
But it's really interesting because it also ties back to Tychus. I feel like if you have double support, you can go Rapid Fire and Giant Killer on Tychus with Vampiric.
Wait, so you vouch for Sledgehammer, but you say to give up Melting Point.
Yeah.
Bobby just turned around.
He left the conversation.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Doesn't sound like odds to me.
You can skip Vampiric. You can skip Vampiric and go with Melting Point. But I think Rapid Fire and Giant Killer is far underrated. You can shred tanks so quick. And I feel like if you have double support like you would for an Illidan, I feel like with the Tychus it's not that bad. I feel like you could probably do more damage than Illidan.
Oh, all right. I have a good one actually too. Zeratul. I think a lot of people they get Gathering Power. I think a lot of Zeratools actually get Gathering Power. I think Sustained Anomaly is actually really good.
Absolutely.
Ever since the nerf on Gathering Power, we've been starting to see that more. But you're right. A few people were grabbing that prior to the patch, and I'm glad it's caught on.
Yeah. Although I don't know about that. I think I saw somebody get Vorpal Blade or whatever like that. That was not hot.
Wasn't that the Ding It show match?
No,
Sure you did.
it wasn't Ding It. I forget where that was, but yeah, I saw that too.
That was not hot at all.
Oh, that was Titan Arena. That was Titan Arena, I think. I think it was Saturday.
Oh, it was. Oh, I remember that. I was sitting in Skype. I was like, wait, what did I see on my screen? This guy had Vorpal Blade.
Come on. I was trying to figure out what was happening because there was like this weird thing that was happening to heroes, and Chet's like, yeah, he grabbed Vorpal Blade. And I was like,
okay, I didn't know that was an ability. I didn't know that was a talent. Cool.
It's a strange.
Yeah,
I just learned something new.
But yeah, I think Sustained Anomaly, it can work. And we are seeing it picked up a little bit more, but it is a good point. Gathering Power was more or less the mainstay. Good answer, Jared.
Jake,
Did you run?
was when I did. Wasn't it Sustained Anomaly with Shadow Spike? Wasn't he running like both of those, the 4 and level 7?
I haven't seen anyone go anything other than First Aid since the patch.
Yeah, I think since patch. I remember he was running it, I think, last patch.
Oh, people are running Cleave 100%.
Time to put solid Jake Kalinsky on blast.
Here we go.
Everyone here has answered the talent question. I believe in you.
Nope.
He just typed to me, no, I'm not doing it. Shut up.
I'm looking.
Uh-oh, he doesn't. Uh-oh.
I got nothing.
Uh-oh.
I'm not good at thinking on the spot. I really am not. Never have been. I'm sure there's things that bother me. I've actually, like, Echo Pedal. Amazing talent, but I've always liked groupies, and I always thought it had a decent place, especially if the meta becomes less bursty. You now have like a little bit more sustaining your party from ETC, but it's hard to give Echo Pedal. It's something I'd just like to see develop with compositions because of how, you know, if it's not a blow-up style, groupies could get a ton of efficiency, but I'm literally just looking at ETC and just saying, that's a thing that could happen. Right. I got nothing for you guys. I failed you.
It's not 100% to this because it's not like a 100% pick. But people freak out about the tier 1 Vertacitar a lot. Just like when people don't take one of the overload.
Oh, like if they get Conjuras?
Yeah, they get like people like freak out when someone takes Condors, and I don't think that's too bad.
It's-
I like Condors on Tassar. It's not the end of the world. I personally think Overlord's a little bit better, but Overlord, excuse me, is a little bit better. But I think Condors is a fine pick as well.
If especially if you're playing on Garden or Cursed, it's gonna pay off in the end.
Yeah, for the long fights.
Right.
for
It's the longer
seasons.
map length. It's gonna definitely pay off.
I think Condors is a fine pick, but I wouldn't really say that pertains to because I don't think people ever go Condors is bad on Tassar. Why do you take that?
Right,
I think
right.
People
Yeah.
like agree that it's a solid choice at times.
All right. We got some
That's
good
all I
discussion
got.
out of that.
This is by far my favorite episode of Town Hall. There's so much aggro and
Oh,
it was beautiful.
it was satisfying.
It's been pretty good. It's been pretty good.
Bobby, you're coming back, man. I don't know what you did here, but
Such aggro.
I just have to say, thank you, Bobby, for this horrible episode of Town Hall.
I don't know if
Because
I've ever
awful episode.
laughed this much in a show. I don't know if I've ever been like this into it.
That's a good
Because
one.
aggro is great, and
we didn't even finish the introductions, and we went ham on MLG, man.
it was
That
great. Yeah.
Right away.
Went ham on Titan Arena, not MLG.
Sorry, Titan Arena. My
Not
bad.
an MLG tournament. Thank you very much.
As the MLG logo is next to your name.
I mean, I run it, and I'm part of MLG, but
Yeah,
it's
I
not
know.
an MLG official tournament.
Yeah, it's a
Thank
Chef
you.
Kim official tournament.
It's not an official tournament yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they wouldn't use a name that bad.
Rip! Grab the gun, Kevin.
Sorry, guys. Let me go find something to fit Of the Storm into it, and I'll get back to you.
Oh, he's a little salty. I think there's a little saltiness in that tone. Okay. All right.
On that note,
Change the subject. Tastes great.
I think it's time for us to do
let's-
our shout-outs.
We got 15 minutes. Let's look at Reddit questions.
Ooh. Ooh.
I think I saw a pretty good one of those. It might have been one of the first ones put up.
Mm.
What was it?
I would also. There's one about if you were head of the dev team, but I already know that Zoya is gonna fail that question miserably. I'd change it. How, Zoya? I'd change it. Thanks, Zoya.
Make differences. Yeah, that's a good one. If you were head
I
of
got-
the dev team, what improvement to the game would you make, or would you place at the highest priority? And this is from CK the Man. Bobby, go.
Please fix smart casting because your abilities don't go off when you hit it too fast, and there's automatic smart casting on A-click. Like we all learned how to use A-click correctly from StarCraft and other MOBAs.
Right.
Please fix that. Please.
Yeah, it's so aggravating.
Oh, it's bad when like you go in with the Kerrigan or Zeratul, you hit your buttons and they don't go off. You're like, what?
So,
You lost team fight.
As
I
a
was-
player who recently swapped to SmartCast a few months ago, that is very frustrating.
all right. If I was part of the dead team or the head of it, considering all I care about in my life is esports, I would put a massive emphasis on esports. I would have tournament listings built into the client. I would make it so that you can watch games live as they're being played, maybe with a 2-minute delay or something so that there can be no stream sniping. And I would incorporate banners onto mounts for team logos. Imagine Cloud9 all having Cloud9 banners on their mounts as they ride into battle.
That Wonder Billy, that C9 Wonder Billy swag.
That's right.
That's what I would do.
I mean,
Esports-centric features.
we've talked about it like 100 times, like across every Blizzard esports show. Warcraft 3 had an in-game tournament client. You could just sign up for a tournament and play and get eliminated and just go home or just play and win it. And you know what? You got nothing, but it was fun to play in these daily tournaments that were in the client. And
Battle.net
that was
1.0.
made in 2003.
Probably before that.
Like Warcraft 3, guys, that was a long time ago, and they had that in there. I would love just to be able, because I started playing with my friends, I would love to just be able to queue up for some random tournament that's built into the client and just, it means nothing, but I'm competing in something
Yeah.
that's easy to do and literally takes nothing.
And that would help
Just
esports
sign up and go.
because suddenly you have the Heroes Hype, amateur tournament built into Heroes of the Storm in the client. You don't need to have a website base for that. Suddenly it's in your face. And you sign up, you compete, boom, bam, boom, yada, yada, done. Probably can't work out till Team League's actually an effective system that's built into the game. And then they could use that kind of systems for
Yeah.
those things. But who knows? We can hope.
Kev?
I'm gonna put the UI on blast. I would like the ability to see if my teammates have their heroics up.
That's a good one.
That's about it. Oh, and whether or not I have buffs and debuffs. That would be, except for something that's...
Can you see that
That's
in like
small corner.
other MOBAs? Can you see your team Unlike League, can you see like
Yeah.
your health bars and stuff?
It's a little green dot.
Yeah, and Smite they do it too. They have a little dot that shows when their hurry up's up. It even has like a little gauge that fills up.
Can you see
before
their
the
health
light fills
bars
up.
of your allies too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
So-
that's something that doesn't exist right now.
Yeah.
See the health bars of your allies. Yeah, that's a good point.
Kubi?
So I'm just like, yeah. Oh, also, like, actually, I don't know. Can you do this? I actually haven't tried. In other MOBAs, F1 to F4 target your other teammates. I don't think that happens in this game either.
This one is set camera position.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that
They should
camera
change
permissions. So it's really aggravating if like two people are standing on top of each other and you're trying to like heal one of the other ones
yeah,
or throw.
that could be annoying. I agree. Sometimes Ancestral just misses.
And has anybody...
Yeah, that drives
Alright,
me nuts.
All right,
Oh
one
my
more
gosh.
bug that I've been running into recently because I never play supports, so this is like a thing that I've recently run into. If somebody's out of range and you're trying to cast like a shield or something or heal, does it sometimes automatically target yourself even though you're not hitting like
No.
alt or anything?
Nope,
I
not a thing.
not seen that.
I've had that issue like a number of times that I don't know why it keeps happening.
Are you playing on a Mac?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
You
I
would
would have just blamed it on the Mac. Yeah.
I would play on a Mac? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you would. Mac. Yep, here it comes.
Boop, boop.
See, told you.
Look at
I
that
got-
glorified mouse pad.
I have one more question from Reddit that I want to go through. Can we do it? One more
Yeah,
question.
go, quick.
Happy Anarchy 1123. It's a question for Mr. BobbyHankHill.
Ooh.
What kind of interaction do you have with your sister team, Maelstrom? Do you primarily focus on scrimming with each other? Do you guys work on secret techniques? What involvement do you have between the two teams? Is it on a deep level, or is it just kind of like, you know what, we're there?
We're not on a deep level, I would say. I would say we just scrim. That's pretty much it. We don't really like give each other strategies.
So
help
there's
each other
no
that much.
there's no Mega Cloud9 chat where you guys all talk about.
Nah,
It's sad.
maybe in the future, but not now.
All the fanfics I've written about you guys have been wrong.
Oh boy.
All right, I think that's gonna do it. On to shoutouts. We're gonna start with Shambam.
Shout outs to MLG for helping me run a tournament that was not MLG tournament. No, but seriously, major shout outs to a lot of people for helping me with this past weekend. Of course, Cloud9 Sheth, being my co-caster all day, 13 hours.
What boss?
That was a lot to put on you, Sheth, and you definitely dealt with my terrible puns all day. Shane Gucher and Yumamoto, my two admins, who did a significantly great job of making all the round of 32 and round of 16 happen almost flawlessly. Shout outs to all the teams, of course. C9 Maelstrom for taking first place, Tempo Storm for not winning, Cloud9 Vortex for doing just as well as you guys always do. Shots left and right. No, but no, you guys. You guys, of course, make the tournament. So, but it was a really great tournament. So, thank everybody for tuning in. And of course, I'm going to be trying to put out another one, maybe in the next month or two. We'll see.
Nice.
And of course, you can follow me on twitter.com/sham2, SCHAMTOO, and youtube.com/sham2, where the finals are currently posted. Bam.
Get those other VODs up. Go.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
What?
I gotta go to Columbus tomorrow.
Just in general, they'll be up eventually, right?
Oh yeah, they'll be up eventually,
Okay.
but they're not gonna be up this week.
They were
No,
deleted.
that's fine. You just saying not gonna happen. I was like, what? They're never gonna be up.
MLG status deleted.
Oh no, that sucked. That's Melee reference. Kubus Maximus.
Yes, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, you guys can catch myself and Solid Jake. We're going to be casting the Thursday night portion of this week's ESL NA Major League, and that's going to be over at twitch.tv/ESL_heroes. Then Friday, we're going to be waking up bright and early, and we're heading over to PAX East. Of course, we're going to be checking out the Blizz panel that happens, I think, at 10:30. So we'll have all the sweet, sweet info before everybody else. I think CSD will be there plugging away, updating Reddit for you guys. So we'll have all that info. We'll have that scoop. We'll be, of course, firing away at Twitter, which, by the way, you guys can follow me at the Kubi, and I will be tweeting quite a bit over the course of those 2 days, keeping you guys up to date.
And don't be afraid to send him suggestions for articles for his Sonya costume, wigs, garments, loincloths. Shoot
Standard.
him all the tips that you have for this costume as he has to build it from scratch.
I missed that part.
Zoya, floor is
You guys
yours.
follow, you guys can follow me at Tempo Zoya on Twitter. I will start streaming again soon, but until I know I'm going to do it consistently, I'm not going to bother with plugging in.
That's fair. That's fair.
You can check out the team, Tempo Storm, and our badass sponsors, Twitch and Namecheap. We're just moving into our house. Expect lots of great things for us. Keep an eye out for our YouTube channel. I know we shot a lot of fires at tournament organizers across the board today, but without them, we would not have really anything to be competing for. So a big shout out to HPL and Kevin for running these events. We enjoy playing in them, and they give us something to strive for right now. So I think that's all the shout outs I have. Oh, Bobby, thank you for coming on, man. You were one of our best guests. You do not do the PR thing that some people do. You just like told it how it is, man, and that's what we like in our guests.
Tempo Storm will not be partaking in the next Titan Arena. Just you can thank the coach.
Yeah.
PSA. Okay.
Bobby, my friend, the floor is yours.
All right. Shout outs to everyone out there that supports me. Follow me at C9BobbyHankCam on Twitter. You can follow my Twitch TV at CamCamOP. And shout out to all of our sponsors, G2A, Logitech, Sam, hold on, wait. MinQ, HyperX, Alienware, HTC, Law Class, Need for Seat, NVIDIA, Overwolf, Mobifire, and Red Bull.
Man, Tempo Storm's got to step it up.
When did you guys pick up Red Bull?
It's coming up soon. No, but we did. I think we picked up last week because we've been giving shout outs in League for that. Also, expect really big things, and no one's going to really expect the announcement that's going to happen with our team, but look out for it really soon.
Cloud9 team now is confirmed. Sick. All right, well, for myself, you can follow me at Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at SolidGeekGG. Once again, like Koopy said, we're casting tomorrow night at 4 ESL Heroes. I have a new series called The Daily Quest, where it's kind of an introductory series for new players. It's very educational. I go to the basics, and I just kind of talk about specific scenarios. You can submit replays to me to observe. We do a little show called Wonky Wednesday every Wednesday night, or Wednesday during the day, rather. Today, we took a look at Gargantuan Nazebo. It was horrendous. But next week, we're taking replays for Auto Attack, Shadow Assault style Zeratul. So, shoot me replays of your Auto Attack Zeratul.
Do you do this around the free week?
Huh? No.
Did you schedule that around free week? Because it's Zeratul free week. I was just
Perfect. I want to try to do that, but I actually don't. But that is a good idea. So you can send me the replays at solidjgg@gmail.com. And it just provides some information. Beyond that, PAX East is going to be crazy. Like Kubi said, we will be at the Blizzard panel, and we'll be hovering around the Blizzard booth quite a bit, playing out whatever they have new for the game. So if you see us, don't be afraid to say hi. We'd love to meet some Blizzard fans, some hero nerds. And I think that is going to do it for us here. Guys, make sure you check out websites like Heroes Hype to find out more information about getting involved in competitive heroes. There's tons of opportunities with these new tournaments for your squads. And go to Reddit, post everywhere, say hello, don't be afraid. And websites like Team Liquid that are already established, Gosu Gamers, whoever you are, get involved. Do more stuff. Help push forward, because established sites like that will help us out quite a bit. But until next time, boys, Bobby.
Kev, fist bump. Go.
What? No! Got it. Later.
We'll see you next time.
I always forget.